following is a presentation of TNT Sports.
Scott, the veteran from the outside, won't go. Here comes Mason. Anthony spotted up on the left. Lets it ride for three.
Knicks and Pacers, game one. New York rolling. Reggie searching for the rhythm. Down 16 at the half, the Pacers rally. And with 4 minutes to go, cut the deficit to a deuce. But that's where the comeback ended. A 15-6 New York hot streak put it away. In 7 playoff games on the Garden floor, the Knicks are perfect. And for the New York faithful, the countdown has begun.
The biggest play of the game was when they cut it to 85-83. Hubert Davis hit a three-point shot, and then Charles Oakley made 2 unbelievable offensive tip-ins just from working.
I keep looking at Oakley and I read the MVP votes and stuff like that, and I haven't seen many players do more for their team than he, and I thought he was the difference.
Tonight on TNT, the guy who did win MVP honors leads the Rockets into Game 2 of the Western Final. Houston's Summit is a team's domain, and his 31-point effort in the opener left the Jazz with the Blues and the Rockets with the early edge. It was a sluggish start that doomed Utah's dynamic duo in Game 1. The Jazz and Rockets Game 2, next on TNT. All right, since the playoff field grew to 16 10 years ago, 2 teams from the Midwest Division have never met for the Western Conference title until this year. Coming up, it is Game 2 of the Utah-Houston series. The Rockets on top 1-0 after Monday night's 100-88 win at the Summit. Joining us once again here in the studio is Isaiah Thomas. You were here for the first 4 nights. You're here as we wind up our coverage this week, and really a whirlwind 24 hours for this guy, because yesterday in Toronto he was being presented as the new VP of basketball operations for the Toronto Raptors, who will begin their NBA season, not next season, but the following year. We're going to talk a lot about that executive role at halftime, but now the analyst role. You take a look at Houston and Utah. What do the Jazz got to do to even this series up tonight, Zeke?
Well, the main thing they have to do is stop Olajuwon. He's the MVP of the league. He's the best player in basketball right now, playing with extreme confidence. He feels that he can do anything, and they got to stop him. And then they got to stop the three-point shooting abilities of Kenny Smith, Vernon Maxwell, and Mario Ealy. Yeah, it's going to be tough, and then you got Robert Horry sneaking in every now and then.
Quickly, last year when you were here, Charles Barkley was announced as the MVP. You got up on the soapbox and said, hey, it can't be. You know, Michael Jordan is the MVP. Any argument with Olajuwon this year?
None whatsoever. He's been dominant from start to finish. They started out 15-0. He was the best player at the start of the season. He was the best player in the middle of the season. He's the best player at the end of the season.
Isaiah Thomas and I will be back with more at halftime, but it's just about time to play ball in Houston. Before the tip, you will see Akeem Olajuwon receive his MVP award. We'll turn it over to Bob Neal and Doug Collins for the Jazz and the Rockets next.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By the Chrysler Corporation and its divisions. And by AT&T, the official telecommunications company of the NBA. Even the good things in life must change, like America's best-selling convertible, Chrysler LeBaron convertible. So for '94, we decided to make a few extra changes. We included air, automatic power windows, and dual airbags standard. We even made a few structural improvements. Oh, and there was one other little change, the lease payment. It's not $429 a month, not even $329. The '94 Chrysler LeBaron convertible is just $249 a month, and that's change you can put in your pocket. Hurry to your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
All over the world, when people are late, you're guaranteed to hear excuses.
The alarm clock broke.
Mein Goldfisch ist gestorben.
Problème de cheveux.
At UPS, however, we guarantee we'll be on time. In fact, we now guarantee on-time delivery to hundreds of cities around the world, or your money back. So while you might hear, you'll never hear it from us.
A
I've got the world on a string.
Is your international business phone bill have you at loose ends? Switch and get the AT&T Business Advantage and get the world on a string. Every month, we'll automatically give your business 20% off every call to the country you call most. Not just on 2 numbers like that other long-distance company. And now, we'll tie on a month free. Cut them loose and tie the knot with AT&T. Call 1-800-222-0900 by July 1st. Don't forget, let AT&T work for you.
You know, a lot of people ask me what the LA stands for. Low altitude? I don't think so. Laid back attitude? No way. Los Angeles? Man, get real.
Logo Athletic, official NBA licensed products.
Along with Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal from the Summit in Houston, Texas. Game 2, Western Finals. Another sellout crowd. Rockets lead the series 1-0. Houston got Game 1 by a score of 100-88. They got it for several reasons, but as usual, Mr. Reliable was there. The league most valuable player, Hakeem Olajuwon, once again scoring plus 30. He had 31. And Doug, as you look at that Houston performance and what Utah will have to do with it, you know one thing, Hakeem will probably get his 30.
He's going to get his 30 even if it's on hustle points, but there's a couple other areas that really stand out in Game 1 that I think they can do something about. They feel, that being Utah, if they can keep the game close, those threes won't flow so freely. Plus 30 from the three-point line the other night, 10-0. Points off turnovers. Utah usually handles the ball better than anybody in the playoffs. They had 12 turnovers in the first half that led to 20 points. If they can cut that in half, those 2 areas, they have a great chance to win this game tonight.
Yeah, and everybody knows that these 2 teams have 2 big men, Olajuwon and the mailman Karl Malone. But when you get right down to it here in Game 2, it's probably going to be a battle of the guards.
They must get better effort, Utah, from their guards tonight. I thought they were tired the other night. Hornacek 0 for 5 in the first half, and we get a chance to look at the numbers. Smith, Maxwell, Cassell, 47 points on 9 of 19 three-point shooting. Stockton, Hornacek, and Humphries, 35 points, so minus 12, and again, no three-point field goals made.
Back in 1980, a young man came from Nigeria to the city of Houston at the age of 18 to play basketball and attend the University of Houston. His name, Hakeem Olajuwon. 14 years in this city. There has been a love affair developing since he was the most valuable player in the NCAAs, leading this team in the down years and in the up years. Finally, this year, the recognition of the NBA most valuable player came to Hakeem Olajuwon, and tonight, his fans help him celebrate here at the Summit.
Rockets, Gene Peterson.
Thank you very much. Welcome to playoff game number 2 in the Western Conference Championship, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very special moment for those of us in the family of the Houston Rockets, for all of you fans here in the great city of Houston. A warm welcome, please, for NBA Commissioner David Stern. Commissioner.
Hakeem, as I've been told to pronounce it tonight, I'm here representing millions and millions of basketball fans around the world to tell you that you've had a spectacular NBA career. You've led your team to its best season ever. You're a certain Hall of Famer, and you do it with an elegance and a grace that's spectacular. Congratulations on being the 1994 NBA Most Valuable Player.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All praise is due to God. I would like to extend my gratitude to the fans of Houston. And as you know, basketball is a team sport. And I'd like to extend my gratitude to my teammates for their contributions for making this happen. Thank you very much. And my coaches, thank you very much. Hold it up.
Driver, do you have any Bud Light in your vehicle?
Yes.
And I am Mr. Gallywikich.
You mean Dr. Galakowitz?
Yes, I am. This is so cool.
First time in a limo? Doctor?
In a limo this small.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
With this 4-cylinder, 16-valve engine, I'm moving. But whatever I do, it's got to be funky.
Neon, $89.75 for starters, $12.5 nicely loaded.
Critics are unanimous. They're calling The Crow the best movie of its kind since Batman. 4 stars. Brandon Lee is sensational, dazzling, and fiercely hypnotic. Brandon Lee, The Crow, rated R, now playing.
Before you ask the questions, Canon has the answers. The speed, the power, the vision. When the rest say you can't, Canon says you can. The corporate line of high-volume copiers. Now you can. Call 1-800-OK-CANON.
This isn't the work of a kindergarten artist. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we make sure our kids' room paint will resist your little one's finishing touches. It's one of 73 tests we do, so you can give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
This Goodyear Aqua Tread pumps away over a gallon of water every second with its Deep Groove Aqua Channel. That's 396 gallons per mile. Think about it. The all-season Aqua Tread, only from Goodyear.
The Rockets crowds at the Summit have been chanting MVP throughout the playoffs, and tonight their hopes were realized as David Stern presented Hakeem Olajuwon his MVP trophy. But Doug, it's more than 1 year. It's been a wonderful career.
Yes, it has, and it goes back to the University of Houston days. You see at the bottom 3 Final Fours. But look at this. The MVP caps off 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Also this year, the Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time All-NBA First Team, 9 All-Star games. And Bob, I will tell you this. We've had a chance to follow the Houston Rockets now for 2 playoff series. I don't know if I've known a more gracious and humble superstar than Hakeem Olajuwon. This guy really just reeks with pride.
Looking for a role model, we found you one.
Got
Where's
that
number
right.
34 in red and gold. And now, tonight's Chrysler Plymouth starting matchups. And once again, the Utah Jazz starting Benoit against Ori. Of course, Spencer with his troubles with Malone, and Hornacek and Stockton had their hands full with the Houston guards.
Well, Karl Malone got off to a slow start, 2 for 9 in the first half. He made his last 7 shots to finish 9 for 19. Hornacek was 0 for 5. Look for those guys to have a bigger first half. And then David Benoit, again, we've talked about the importance of he and Tyrone Corbin off the bench and Jay Humphries. These guys must give them some bench scoring and some opportunities to rest John Stockton.
Jerry Sloan, the pride of McLeansboro, Illinois, career playoffs as a player and as a coach. You see his number. Jerry Sloan is something to behold. And remember, this team, Utah, got beaten badly by San Antonio, made a great comeback in Game 2. Rudy Tomjanovich out of Hamtramck, Michigan, by the University of Michigan, a workaholic player, and he's made himself a name here. These are two of the finest, relatively new coaches in the NBA. Jerry Sloan, as I say new, is all of a sudden like the third oldest because of the high rate of turnover. And they both have got their teams ready to go here with Utah trailing 1-0 in the second game of this Western Conference Finals. It'll be Hugh Evans, Dan Crawford, Bennett Salvatore are our officials in tonight's ballgame.
The word the last 2 days also in this city has been one of caution. They expect Utah to play much, much better tonight. Let's watch the energy level. Let's watch the execution on offense. Let's keep our eye on their turnovers.
Off a baseline screen, Stockton to Hornacek. The open man is Benoit. 2-0 Utah.
Well, interesting set. They start out instead of Stockton on the top of the floor. They bring Hornacek, who can handle the basketball. He operates from the top, and Stockton comes off the stack.
Well, in Game 2 against San Antonio in that series with Utah, after they had been blown out by the Spurs, the Utah team really came back strong. And the miss on the jam attempt by Thorpe. The three from Maxwell. Not this time. Benoit with a rebound.
See, in the regular season, Houston shot 24% in 6 games from the three-point line against Utah. They do not expect them to be able to shoot the ball that way tonight if they can stay in their face and stay close in this game. Again, Hornacek on top of the floor, letting Stockton come off screens.
This time they go to the screen and roll. Stockton leaned in to get the bump. He'll go to the free throw line.
You must stay down on the floor on Stockton. He has an excellent pump fake. He'll get you in the air. We saw it in the first half the other night. He'll get to the foul line, get you up and lean up and under you to draw the foul. So Stockton now early to the free throw line.
And we saw him get Kenny Smith airborne in game number 1 to go to the free throw line too. He hit the shot on that attempt. This time he goes to the free throw line. Excellent free throw shooter, by the way, is John Stockton. 81% here, near 90 for the regular season. John Stockton struggled mightily in game number 1.
Well, you know what? When you look at his playoff numbers, his shooting is down from 53% to 47% from the field. But more importantly, he's 0 for 11 from the three-point line after shooting 32% during the regular season from 3.
Utah to a 4-0 lead. Looking for the dream down on the baseline. Can't handle it. Turnover early in this game, and Utah with a chance to build a 6-0 lead. Hornacek off a baseline screen. Out in his face, Vernon Maxwell. Alone. Benoit kept it alive. We're going to get a loose ball foul against Felton Spencer.
For people who have not seen a lot of Utah Jazz this year, the one thing that Karl Malone has done, he's taken his game outside a little bit more this year, and we've seen a lot of jump shots from him in the playoffs, which has led to some low percentage shooting games. So we'll have to see tonight what kind of percentage. 9 for 19 in game 1, but he made his last 7 shots to get the 9 for 19.
Houston hasn't scored yet. Maxwell and Olajuwon with a 2-man game. The double team. Borey's the open man. Misses from the perimeter. Benoit up high again. Utah ball.
So that's what Utah is banking on. Coming back on Olajuwon, forcing perimeter shots, but being a little quicker tonight to close out and make those shots a little bit tougher. They had a lot of open shots on Monday night.
Houston 0 for 3 so far. 4-0 Utah. 10 to shoot. Now 5. The foul before the block shot by Olajuwon. It's on Olajuwon, his first. So both centers, Spencer and Olajuwon, with an early foul.
I think they're going to give that foul to Robert Horry. I think he and Olajuwon were both there together. I think they did give it to Horry.
Yeah, they signaled first 34, now 25, yes. And so that'll be good news for Houston.
Now, this is sort of an underrated guy right here, Felton Spencer. He's quietly against the top centers in the NBA. As we look at this right here, look, Bob, 8.3 and 8.3 rebounds against David Robinson. You see against Mutombo on the other night in game 1, 15 points and 11 rebounds. So if they can get that kind of effort tonight, they'll be in good shape.
They made the official change. It is Robert Ory with the personal foul. Jazz 6-0, 9:40 to go, first quarter. Olajuwon spin move baseline. Stop this.
Well, see, he spun right away from the double team. The double team came high, and Felton Spencer, realizing that's got to get his foot on the baseline and make him come back to the help.
Took Houston 2.5 minutes to score their first 2 points tonight. Illegal defense being called against the Rockets very early.
You know, we didn't see a lot of that play the other night where the guard screens across and brings Karl Malone to the post. That usually is their bread and butter play, and they did not run that much the other night.
New shot clock on the first illegal defense call. Next one will be a technical free throw in the ball. 9:14 to go, first quarter. 6-2 Utah, 10 to shoot. Stockton to Benoit. 8-2 Utah.
John Stockton just does a great job of penetrating, always looking for the open man. Well, look at
he splits the double team for the lay-in. He has 4.
You got to close that down. That's the old Kevin McHale up and under move where the double team comes and you step right through it. You've got to close that double team down.
Easier said than done on Hakeem.
Well, yeah, he's so quick. It's like trying to capture lightning in a bottle with this guy. He's so quick for his size.
Now they're calling this personal on Otis Thorpe.
Look at Hakeem step through that double team and split it. You had Benoit coming down, and he just sort of renders that double team useless.
Utah out to an 8-4 lead. 8:38 to go, first quarter from the Summit. Game 2, Western Conference Finals. Malone being defended by Otis Thorpe. Draws the double team. Open man is Spencer, but we've got the second illegal defense call, and this will be the technical free throw.
See, now the other night, the first play of the game, there was an illegal defense called against Houston. It was not called the rest of the night. Now you've already had 2 here to start this game. And what they're telling Robert Ory, you've got to aggressively go to the double team. He was sort of halfway in between what I call a soft double team, trying to entice the referees to make it look like you are double teaming when you're not.
Hornacek will shoot the technical foul.
Keep your eye on Robert Ory, number 25. See, he's illegal right now. He's still illegal. He starts to go, and he just stops, and you've got to make an aggressive double team right there. That's a soft double team. That's why it's illegal.
Kenny Smith defending Stockton. Stockton looking for Hornacek. Can't find him. Goes to Benoit on to Malone. 10 to shoot. Hand off to the cutter. Turns out to be John Stockton. He has 4 points.
You know what they're doing tonight? They're running a lot of splits. They're throwing the ball into Karl Malone, and they're running splits, and they're forcing either a switch or confusion on how they're going to play those interchange.
Olajuwon spins into the paint, and he's fouled. Benoit charged with a personal. So far tonight, Utah 3 of 4 from the field, 5 out of 5 from the free throw line. They've only missed 1 shot. They have the 7-point, 11-4 lead, just under 8 minutes remaining in the first period.
Well, they only made 12 free throws out of 16 attempts the other night, so they're already getting to the free throw line at a much higher pace.
There's the double team on Hakeem. The open man, Kenny Smith. He had 6 threes in game 1, and he opens up beyond the arc tonight.
Stockton is a roamer on defense. Kenny Smith the other night worked against his vision, got a lot of open shots. He had a quote in the paper after the game. He said, give me 10 open ones like that, I'll make 7 of them. Well, he's 7 out of 10 in this series.
Stockton misses from the perimeter. Houston now trailing by 4. Deflection from Hornacek. The steal from Stockton. It's 4 on 3. John Stockton penetrating. Handing off to Benoit, who wasn't ready for the pass. Open man. Hakeem with a typical play.
Turnovers
laid it in.
And points off turnovers. Remember, Bob, what we talked about, John Stockton over-penetrated, and again, Hakeem with just a simple play, laid it in, saving his energy for the rest of the game, realizing he's probably going to be on the floor about 45 minutes tonight.
2-point Jazz lead, 6:47, first period. Malone, quick turnaround. Olajuwon, rebound. He has 2 early. A chance for Houston to tie. Thorpe, way down low. Can't stop that. Houston on a 7-0 run.
Now that'll be a problem if both Olajuwon and Thorpe do score. if they're going to let Olajuwon, or if they're going to let Olajuwon get his 30, they've got to do a job on Thorpe. The other night, Thorpe only had 8 points.
It's tied at 11. 5 to shoot. Stockton missed the 3. Has he made one in the playoffs?
0 for 12 now.
Kenny Smith, who has 7 in this series.
7 for 10 for Kenny Smith.
Olajuwon just now getting back down court and getting the ball.
Nice
hitting the
pass.
cutter, Ori to Thorpe. Ori flashes into the paint. Thorpe comes in from the baseline. Houston on a 9-0 spurt.
Hear personal war stories from viewers like you and see 17 of Hollywood's greatest war movies. Operation TNT's Salute to Memorial Day weekend starts Sunday 10 a.m. and continues through Memorial Day.
Now get America's #1 selling minivans in time for summer. The Chrysler Plymouth Minivan Vacation Celebration. Air and automatic at no extra charge and $500 cash back on Plymouth Voyager. Prices as low as $15.20. And on Grand Voyager and Chrysler Town & Country, get cash back and option discounts of up to $10.63. Plus, up to $1,000 in option package values on Voyager and Grand Voyager. The Minivan Vacation Celebration at the Minivan Store at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Here's Weber in the open court going all the way. Oh, brother. What a move by Weber.
And the Sixers take over on the turnover. Julius. Oh.
82-80. Tries a long, wild hook shot. Good!
And here come the bricks on the break. Horace Credit over to Rakeem Olajuwon, who throws up a prayer.
I love this game!
We'll have a day on time.
The Goodwill Games, beginning July 23rd on TBS.
Houston was down 11-4. They now lead by 2.
Well, let's talk about double teaming Hakeem Olajuwon. The ball's going to go into the post, and we'll stop it. Here's the double team guy coming right here. They're worried about three-point shot. They're worried about three-point shot. So this guy now becomes a cutter. We'll roll it forward, and we'll stop it right here. Now all of a sudden, Karl Malone must play 2 people, and he can't do it. 2-on-1, it's like running a fast break. You throw the ball to the open man. Thorpe gets the dunk.
Utah's Hornacek missing. Olajuwon with his 3rd rebound. Make it 4 already for Hakeem to go with his 6 points. Down to Thorpe again, defended by Malone. From 18 feet. Malone rebound.
You notice how much more active Otis Thorpe is tonight. Much more active on the offensive end. I have to think his hip is feeling better than it was on Monday.
Definitely looks more active. Thorpe with the steal.
Right on cue.
We love it when they do that. Vernon Maxwell. Excellent defensive game. Struggled offensively in game number 1. Look at the ball movement.
He's got to take that shot. He's wide open, and see he's hesitating right now. With Robert Horry, it's so important for him to make his first shot because he's a reluctant shooter. And I don't know why, because when I look at his numbers in the playoff, he's shooting 18 for 40 from 3. He's the number 2 3-point shooter, and he's shooting 51% from the field. So you have those kind of numbers, you got to let it go.
Jay Humphries in for Utah. He struggled at the beginning of the game. Matter of fact, he struggled all the way through game number 1, number 6. Jay Humphries, you see the brace on his knee. He has tendonitis on that knee.
And he is a big-time player for these guys, and that's a big shot, again, right on cue for Jay Humphries. And later on, we'll talk to you a little bit about how important he was in the San Antonio series and then how he struggled with that knee in the Denver series.
Maxwell knocks down the 3. Vernon Maxwell. So both the Houston guards have 3-pointers early. Utah gave up more 3-point attempts than any team in the league.
And also defended it the best.
Which is a strange combination of stats. We've got a jump ball. Horry and Benoit.
See, what happens is without Mark Eaton on the floor, they don't have a shot blocker, so they must always be conscious of guarding the basket. And when you guard the basket, you must give something up. And when you give something up, you're going to have to give up some perimeter shots. And Utah, again, gives up the most attempts, but defends it better than anybody.
Benoit and Ori will jump it with 4:06 to go, quarter number one, 16-13 to score. Utah's ball. You see Mark Eaton sitting on the bench. He and Luther Wright, also the rookie who's been out, both of them would be a big help off the bench and playing against Elijah Wan. Tyrone Corbin gets into the game.
Let's see now if Rudy T matches up with Mario Elie in game one. They like to keep their players, Elie and Corbin, against each other. Let's see how long he stays with Ori before he comes in.
Stockton to Malone from 17 feet. Doesn't get the bounce. Elijah Wan
0 for 3 now for Karl Malone.
Has 5 rebounds. Maxwell, 2 threes in a row. Will tonight be the night of Vernon? It was the night of Kenny on Monday with 6 threes. And by the way, the two hold the Houston NBA playoff record for threes at 6 a game each. So too early for Maxwell. And the foul is on Maxwell, which, by the way, will be his first.
Bob, this is not supposed to happen. In the playoffs, your three-point percentage is supposed to go down because there's more pressure. Look, Smith up 7%, Maxwell up 4%, Cassell up 8%, Ori up 7%, as a team up 7%. That's not supposed to happen. Under pressure, that three-pointer is supposed to be more difficult to make.
Houston on a 15-2 run, leading it now by 6. Houston trailed 11-4.
You know what? Karl Malone, the last possession, Bob had the ball at the foul line. Stockton had set a screen for him. He was wide open. He didn't even look at the basket. He's missed his first 3 shots. That time, he looked to be a passer. He has got to take 20 shots.
The Utah foul on the hold is going to be on Jay Humphries. 3:12 to go, first quarter.
You could see the defensive theory right now on Maxwell has been to go under the screen, and he's punished Humphries twice now with 3-point shots. See if they make a adjustment on that.
Ori tried to save it, but he put it off of Corbin into the hands of John Stockton. Back to Tyrone Corbin. Bounce pass Malone down on the block. In a forest of Houston defenders, Karl Malone is fouled. And we have a Houston timeout. The foul is on Robert Ori, his second.
You need to be the best starter.
Every time I go out there, the adrenaline starts pumping.
Chills running down my spine.
I'm scared.
Whoa.
Talent can only take you so far.
You always have to be motivated yourself.
You gotta have something inside.
A burning desire to go out there and compete every night. You need to do everything it takes.
No matter what.
Stopping at nothing.
I'm not gonna stop.
That's the nature of the beast.
Score that touchdown just to hit them go crazy.
You have to love it.
Starter.
What do you need to be the best?
Everything you got. It's up to you.
Every Plymouth Neon comes with an advanced single overhead cam 16-valve engine, and its 132 high-tech horses should come in mighty handy when you're trying to coax your car onto a freeway. $94.75 for starters, $13,000 nicely equipped. Say hello to Plymouth Neon. Plymouth Neon, Automobile Magazine's Automobile of the Year, now at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Make your money work harder than ever. Call now for your free Wall Street Journal guide to understanding money and investing. It focuses on financial markets so you can make informed choices. Call now to get your guide free when you subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, where you'll find information you need to get ahead. Get 10 weeks of the journal for just $36 and the guide to understanding money and investing free with your paid subscription. Call toll-free 800-421-2000. That's 800-421-2000.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Rockets 19-13, and for Utah, Jay Humphries is a critical third guard in this series.
Well, you look in the first round, he was the second leading scorer against the Spurs at 12.5 points a game, shot 55%. In game 2, he really stole the home court advantage back in that Spurs series with 25 points, had a big game. Then he got 10-9 at his knee, and look what happened against the Nuggets. Down to 4.4 points, 27%. Game 1, played 23 minutes, 5 points on 2 of 6 shooting. They need him. He comes out, he hits his first shot, because when he plays well, it gives him an excellent three-guard rotation, and you can rest Stockton, and then you can play Hornacek out there with him, so it gives him that three-guard veteran look that they'd like to have.
Houston, on the other hand, a four-guard rotation, and guards number 3 and 4 are in the game right now. Number 17, Mario Elie, and number 10, rookie Sam Cassell. And you see what they did, and the Cassell numbers, by the way, were the first 9 points of the second quarter for Houston when the Rockets blew that game open.
Yeah, they had a 34-18 second quarter with these guys on the floor.
Maxwell, Cassell, and Elie with Thorpe and Olajuwon. Turnaround jumper from the baseline, rims out of there. Jay Humphries. Humphries and Stockton on the floor with Malone, Corbin, and Spencer for the Jazz.
Karl Malone needs a field goal. He's starting to think on his shot. He just missed 2 free throws. They need to get him a shot inside.
Felton Spencer gets the lay-in and will go to the free throw line. Felton Spencer shooting at 66% in the playoffs. Out of Louisville, he's a big body. Thorpe with the personal.
The importance of going to Felton Spencer is he keeps Olajuwon at home somewhat defensively, so he just can't roam. I remember in the Phoenix series, Paul Westphal kept talking about that Hakeem would not guard Oliver Miller on the floor, so he went to an AC Green as a big man. He also played Joe Klein a lot, so he'd have to shoot the outside shot. If Felton Spencer will post up and score, Olajuwon has to stay at home more, and it changes their defense and their shot blocking.
Houston by 3, 19-16. Jazz jumped out to an 11-4 lead. With 2:20 to go in the quarter, they trail by 3. 10 to shoot. Very slow play instructions.
Very slow getting into this play right now.
Olajuwon on the drive.
Ooh, Hakeem over the back.
Loose ball foul, and that'll be the first on Hakeem Olajuwon as rookie Chris Jent comes into the ball game for Maxwell. Jent from Ohio State came out of the CBA, picked up late in the year and placed on the playoff roster. Came in one of the mid games in that Phoenix series and provided a real offensive lift. He's got an excellent outside shot.
Very good three-point shooter, plays very solidly, and he gives them a lot of hustle, goes for a lot of the loose balls, and actually after game 2 here when Phoenix went up 2-0, stole both games here at home, especially the game after they lost a 20-point lead. Jent went into the rotation in place of Matt Bullard and has stayed there ever since.
Humphries misses from the free throw line, shooting 73% on the series in the playoffs. 2:03 to go in the quarter. And look at the free throw shooting here tonight. Rockets have yet to go to the line.
Jazz made their first 6. They missed 3 in a row and made their 4th one, so now 7 for 10.
Mario Elie with the screen and roll with Olajuwon, now isolated against Felton Spencer.
Look at that quick spin.
Split it again, drew the foul.
That's illegal, I'm telling you.
It's going to be on Tyrone Corbin.
Bob, you know he's going to spin back to you. Here comes Corbin. He said, I'm going to strip him. And he said, no, you're not. I'm going to take the ball right through you and get the little jump hook. And again, we talk about closing down that double team. You have to be so aggressive and go back to the middle, almost overlap your foot with the other defensive player's foot, so he has absolutely no place to go unless he's going to go right through you.
MVP, he got his trophy tonight. He told me when I chatted with him yesterday that first time he ever played basketball, he was a big soccer player in Nigeria. He was 17 years old. He played one pickup game with some of his friends in the neighborhood, gave up all the other sports, fell in love with it, love at first sight. The next thing you know, he's at the University of Houston and now with the Rockets. Now with the steal.
Right on cue again. I tell you, Hakeem is doing his MVP thing again tonight, not only stealing the ball, but right as you're announcing it.
Sam Cassell with a penetration kick out to Elie. Thorpe finds Jent. One touch. Olajuwon missing with the double team. He's missed his last 3 shots. Just over a minute to go, first period. Malone had to shoot it over Olajuwon, who caused him to change the shot, then stepped back in with the ball, lost it out of bounds. Utah will control, and Karl Malone is 0 for 4.
And 0 for 2 from the foul line. Remember now, he was 2 for 9 to start the game the other night, made his last 7 shots. So starting out again cold here, and It's amazing that his team was within 4 points with him shooting at that pace right now.
That's good news for the Jazz. They have to feel good about that.
You got to expect him to heat up. He needs a couple baskets.
Stockton is now 0 for 13 in the playoffs from beyond the arc. Rebound Spencer.
You know, it's almost the identical score we had in Game 1. The score was 20-16 at the end of the first quarter. It's 21-17 right now, so +4 once again.
Stockton with 8 to shoot on the drive. The lay-in from the quick hands of John Stockton, one of the 3 members of the All-NBA first team on the floor, Olajuwon, Malone, and Stockton.
Stockton might be, pound for pound, one of the toughest players in the NBA. He'll set screens. He's fearless.
10 to shoot, 22 seconds in the quarter. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Cassell tried to get around Malone. Malone showing good hands. Corbin to Humphries.
Smart play. Hold it out for the last shot. Don't give Houston a possession here. Maybe you'll get a 3.
Open man is Corbin. It's a 3. Coach Collins. With 1 second to go, Utah 1 for 8 from the three-point line in this series. That almost fell, but the Jazz stole the lead on that three-pointer, 22-21 at the end of the first quarter, and those are the stats of the MVP after 12 minutes.
I'm bored. Let's count the palm trees again. Why are you looking at me like that, Iggy?
Okay?
Cut it out. You're weirding me, man. Stop looking at me like that, would ya? You're creeping me out. Cut that out, man.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Iggy, you're gonna twist my head off. Iggy.
NBA Showdown 94 for Sega Genesis and Super NES. If it's in the game, EA Sports. It's in the game.
Hi. You know, this week, all Goodyear Eagles for performance cars and all Goodyear Wranglers for light trucks are on sale. Heck, I think this says it all. On sale Wranglers, Eagles, Goodyear, all on.
If you're taking the leading prescription medicines for asthma, ulcers, or high blood pressure, and you need a pain reliever, the one doctors recommend most is Tylenol. Not aspirin, not ibuprofen. Talk to your doctor about Tylenol.
What would happen if you took the relief of a liquid antacid and put it into a form you've never seen before? You'd get new Mylanta Soothing Lozenges. Liquid relief now in a lozenge. New Mylanta Soothing Lozenges. My doctor said Mylanta.
This is the last straw. In case you missed the symbolism, TGI Fridays has me in a garden to remind you of their garden fresh salads. Like Cajun fried chicken salad, fresh greens piled high with crisp and spicy Cajun chicken. Or Cobb salad, turkey, bacon, and avocado heaped over fresh tossed greens. If my agent only had a brain.
Everyone looks forward to Friday.
Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you from the Summit in Houston, Texas. Oh, has this team fallen back in love with the Rockets. At Game 1 against the Phoenix series, the players and the fans were bickering. The newspapers were calling them Choke City. Now it's Clutch City. And you would think that this is basketball USA here in Houston. And they trail by 1 after 12 minutes.
Well, the second quarter, very important. Plus 16 for the Rockets the other night. They shot 74%, and Cassell was the leader of the pack.
Chris Gent stepped on the line after the pass from Sam Cassell, and it will be Utah ball, and Earl Curitan has checked in, number 35 in his 11th year in the NBA. Karl Malone, you see the numbers as Doug was talking about him, 0 for 4, 0 for 2.
See, the other night in the second quarter, Cassell and Ellie were both on the floor. They were plus 16. Tonight, they are minus 7. So we'll have to keep that. I feel like they've been the real barometer in the 2 series we've done so far, Utah and Phoenix.
Humphries got Cassell in the air, no foul call. Spencer misses the jam, but will draw the foul.
Houston foul 35, Earl Curitan.
It's on Curitan.
Humphries got in the air that time. Double pumps and he sees Olajuwon out of the corner of his eye. Felton Spencer dashes down the lane. He hits him. Has an opportunity for the dunk, but guys are reacting much more quickly tonight than they were the other night. They were a half step slow. Malone leaving the game. Now Chambers in. Looks like they're going to keep Felton Spencer in the game tonight, not make Tom Chambers guard Olajuwon, and then maybe when Olajuwon takes a rest, then they'll come back in with Malone and let Malone and Chambers play together. Chambers could not handle Olajuwon the other night.
Spencer misses this one. Curitan gets the rebound. Jerry Sloan from Southern Illinois is an easygoing, aw-shucks kind of guy, but an excellent adjusting coach. Chris Gent missed everything. Loose ball foul. It's going to be on Utah. It's on Tom Chambers.
See, you see Akeem Olajuwon that time. He throws the ball out to Chris Gent. He shoots an air ball, and you see Akeem goes over and encourages him a little bit. Hey, just keep playing. That's another part about being the most valuable player.
He gave up the shot that time, even though he had it open. Looking for the two-man game. The spacing's not there. And after Hakeem said, shoot it anyway, he did.
See, and Hakeem gave him the thumbs up. That's what you got to do. 4 for 7 now from three-point line. When your best player encourages you, gives you more confidence to do things.
I feel that way working on these broadcasts here beside you.
Yeah.
When you do that. Hugh Evans with the call. It's a foul against Sam Cassell, who's struggling a bit as he came on the floor here tonight.
It'll happen sometimes. You got to maintain your focus, and you know, playoffs are a long, long march. You can never get too excited or never too down. He's been playing great basketball. He just got to maintain his focus here tonight.
Ellie trying to guard Hornacek right up in his face.
They're going right back to Humphries here. A little isolation against Cassell. He's very strong.
Backing him down in, Jay Humphries. And experienced.
A tough pass there by Cassell, leading Olajuwon. Really miraculous save.
Back down to Akeem. The jump hook. He's missed that 3 times tonight. And Humphries with another rebound.
See, Humphries giving him good minutes, and that gives Stockton a chance to rest.
Spencer down low, missed everything. Rebound Earl Curitan in limited minutes. 2 rebounds already for Earl, the veteran, bringing in some backup for Thorpe, who will be back in a moment. Chris Gent, Olajuwon. Look at that spin move.
That's amazing. This guy's been in the league 10 years. You're telling me his legs are that still fresh and quick?
He told me yesterday that I said the difference between you in your rookie year with Houston and your year here with MVP, he said, I'm stronger now than I was then.
Well, he's lifting weights and all now. He's taking care. He's working on his flexibility. And interesting enough, as Olajuwon goes out, who comes in? Karl Malone, and Spencer goes out. So Jerry Sloan, you can see right now, does not want anybody but Felton Spencer matched up against Olajuwon, understanding that's a mismatch, and he doesn't want to put Malone on him and risk getting in foul trouble.
Sam Cassell with the penetration, the kick out to Ellie for the 3. No. Rebound. Thorpe. Stolen by Jay Humphries. Who's going to get there? Chambers is fouled by Curitan. That was kind of the tortoise and the tortoise.
I was going to get in that foot race. Earl and Tom, I think maybe I could win that one.
The Jazz by 1, 9:40 to go in the half.
Coming this fall, Sunday Night NFL on TNT.
Bowling is some people's idea of fun. Now, truck bowling, that's when things can get real interesting. But to do it right, you gotta have one of these. A 1994 Ford Ranger 4x4. Complete with push-button 4-wheel drive, a whopping 4-liter V6, and a wide, powerful stance. Get a Ford Ranger 4x4 and go truck bowling. Come on. I just love league nights.
Is stripping old paint a pain in the elbow? Well, now you can power off old paint, stain, varnish, even rust with Easy Stripper. It literally eats old paint. Forget messy chemicals or changing sheets of sandpaper. Easy Stripper strips window frames and powers paint off siding. It's gentle enough to remove old varnish, yet it chews up thick, scaly rust in seconds. Yes, Easy Stripper powers off old paint and rust on contact. But there's more. Here's the driver. Now you can power in any screw in seconds. Monster screws like this, or tiny screws like this. Even screws above your head. Yes, when you order Easy Stripper to power off paint and rust, you also get the driver to power in any screw. Both tools for an incredible $19.95. Order now.
For rush delivery, call 1-800-421-2000 or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping to Easy Stripper Plus, P.O. Box 2666, Atlanta, Georgia, for your Easy Stripper and driver. Order now.
Well, we had Showtime in L.A., we had Broadway at Madison Square Garden, and now it's Hakeem's house. All the celebrities coming to the summit now. And here's a man that Hakeem credits as one of the few men who've had a major influence on his life, not just in basketball. Guy Lewis, who brought the NCAA championship days to Houston.
Well, the importance of the college coach with the young guy when he's away from home, you know, the wisdom of being an adult and the things that he brings, I don't think it can ever be overstated how important a college coach is in the role of a young athlete's life.
Guy Lewis, who, by the way, tonight gave the introduction at the floor to the team. He says, and now out on the floor, he said to this cheering crowd, now will you welcome the next NBA champion Houston Rockets? I thought this place was going to take the roof right off. As you look at the bench, a difference in game number one.
Well, you credit that with Jay Humphries. Now Tom Chambers at the line. He hits a free throw, so we can make that now 9-3. So Corbin off the bench hits a big three at the end of the first quarter. You've got Jay Humphries, who's hit 2 field goals, and he's got 3 rebounds. And now Tom Chambers has a chance to add to his point, and he now has 2 points. So good contributions from the veteran players now off the bench.
Tom Chambers struggling in game one, looked like he was running in sand. He looked very tired. Of course, he's a veteran and is going to have slower nights. Great physical, talented, instinctive basketball player in his heyday, Tom Chambers.
Boy, I tell you, no one took it to the basket any stronger than him.
Jet missing from long range, Malone.
Remember the days when Tom Chambers would take the ball to the basket and dunk on anybody in his way?
Absolutely. He was in the slam dunk competition earlier in his career. Jazz by 3. 9:14 to go, first half. Bob Deal, Doug Collins with you from the summit.
I would have to think Jerry Sloan's very happy right now with his team's half-court execution and the way they're taking care of the ball.
Quick turnaround shot goes down for Karl Malone, his first of the night after 5 attempts. Ellie sees the opening and splits it. Didn't go, but he will go to the line.
Foul is called. Utah is 32. Karl Malone, first personal.
Malone called for the trick as Vernon Maxwell and Kenny Smith come in. Jet and Puritan sit down. Ellie will go to the free throw line as Hakeem comes back in. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Budweiser player of the game, Mario Ellie's 94 playoff numbers, and Budweiser will donate $1,000 in his behalf to the United Negro College Fund.
Thinking something to keep our eye on right now. Olajuwon with a very short rest is back in the game. Who will play him on the defensive end now? Felton Spencer's out. Will they be able to take advantage of this and force Jerry Sloan to bring Spencer back before he would like to?
He set out 1 minute and 6 seconds. Chambers will no doubt play him. Hakeem drifting back in. You see him leaving Chambers alone out there.
They're going to do a lot of isolations with Humphries. He's just backing down. We saw it with Cassell, now Kenny Smith. So they're letting him use his strength to try to play one-on-one basketball, and he's doing it very effectively. That's 2 fouls he's drawn now, 1 on Cassell, 1 on Kenny Smith.
Tendonitis is something also that you can't tell. You know, he comes in and can have a loose knee and feel good tonight. Another night it can be very sore, and he apparently is feeling all right tonight.
My knee feels pretty good in this humidity, but I wouldn't want to play tonight. There's Jay Humphries with his jump shot.
You're knocking down the free throws just like you did with the Olympics team.
Yeah,
around today. But I hit 25 in a row. Did I see you knock down there?
Pretty lucky, Bob.
Yeah. Hakeem has it stripped by Hornacek, but they're going to call the foul. Jazz have built a 31-26 lead. They were ahead 11-4, then the Rockets went on an explosion. Now the Jazz back in front, playing definitely better tonight, Utah, than they did in game number 1.
Well, they only had 34 points at half the other night. They already have 31. We have 8 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Chambers trying to play Olajuwon.
Tough matchup here.
Shot right over the top.
Yeah, you know, during the regular season, Jerry Sloan said that Tom Chambers played Olajuwon very well. He circled him and fronted him and did some things. We'll see how long he'll go with this matchup before he has to come back in with Spencer. Here's the isolation again for Humphries.
Oh, they're sure going with that. 10 to shoot. John Stockton off the floor. Hornacek running things. There's a whistle down on the baseline from Minute Salvatore. It's called on Vernon Maxwell, and that's his 3rd personal.
And that's 5 team fouls, so we'll be rest of the way right now if you're the Utah Jazz.
7:45 to go in the half, and Utah will be marching to the free throw line, where already they have a very large margin. Utah's 10 of 14. Houston 4 of 4.
Rocket substitution, 25, Robert Horry replaces Vernon Maxwell.
Horry back into the game now. He got off to a very rough start tonight, and Vernon Maxwell sits down. He has 6 points, but 3 personals.
So Utah's winning this game right now. They're up 5, and Malone only has 4 points. He's 1 for 5 from the field, 2 for 4 from the line. So you have to feel pretty good knowing that the chances of him coming on strong in the second half are pretty good.
Horry. Where'd that come from? Very hard to the hoop, which he can do well, but hasn't been doing so far. Missed it. Back comes Utah. Malone. Now Horry on Jay Humphries. Look at the move to Jay Humphries. Didn't get the lay. A nice move. No finish.
Did everything right except finish it. Exactly, Bob.
Hakeem loses the ball down there. Bodies everywhere. Touchdown pass to, well, actually got down to about the 5.
Oh, my goodness.
Hands it off. Karl Malone back. Karl Malone.
He realized that his man did not run down the floor. He threw the pass and just sprinted and got it back. You don't want to give Karl Malone dunks. You got to make him work for everything.
Timeout, Houston.
That foul's going to be on Jay Humphries. We have timeout called by Utah with the Jazz leading by 7. 6:41 to go in the half.
A new wind is rising, bringing change, bringing the all-new Ford Windstar, a totally new minivan. Windstar is the only minivan that combines standard dual airbags, 5-mile-an-hour bumpers, and 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. Plus, it meets all passenger car safety standards. It's safety that takes the minivan in a whole new direction. The all-new front-wheel drive Ford Windstar. The future of minivans begins today.
Among the highest awards for quality in the world is the Deming Award. Very few manufacturers have ever won one. Ricoh has 2 of them. In fact, Ricoh copiers and fax machines have won every major award for copier and fax quality. So we don't just have a reputation for excellence. We have proof. The name to know, Ricoh.
I was an NBA All-Star for 8 seasons, and one thing I learned is that no one can do it alone. Now, traveling across the country as an NBA stay-in-school chairman, I visit a lot of schools. And I've learned that getting a good education is also a team effort. America's schools need everyone to get into the action. Help spread the stay-in-school message. It's everyone's best move.
Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. The Reebok halftime report comes up in just a few minutes. Isaiah Thomas will give us his thoughts on the Jazz and Rockets first half. We'll hear from Craig Sager, who spent part of the day with the Pacers' Larry Brown. And we'll talk about that new NBA team in Toronto. Could say we'll need your rapt attention. You don't have to say that, but you could if you wanted to. Bob and Doug?
We'll pay rapt attention to you. The Raptors. How about that for a team nickname with Vice President Zeke?
Congratulations to Isaiah also. That's a wonderful honor, and he's worked so hard in basketball. Great player. I know he's going to do a great job, and just congratulations to him.
Oh, what a wonderful place for a franchise, Toronto, Canada. My. 35-28, Jazz leading. Mario Elie to the line.
So this is the 8th point of the quarter, and they've almost played half the quarter. The other night they scored 11 points in the first 3 minutes of the second quarter. So the pace right now favoring the Utah Jazz. They're not turning the basketball over. They're getting into their set offense and getting major contributions from Jay Humphries.
Houston has not missed a free throw on their rare attempts tonight. 6:36 to go in the half. Long rest for John Stockton. He's been on the bench longer than usual. Into Malone. Fouled very hard by Elijah Wan after he beat Otis Thorpe.
See, Otis Thorpe dove for the steal, and when he did, he took himself out of the play. Olajuwon reacts quickly, but Karl Malone with a big, strong body just shields himself away. Now watch this. Thorpe dives for the ball, he misses it, and here comes Hakeem. He committed himself into the air a little bit too quickly, and Malone just hung until he got the contact. So Olajuwon with 2 fouls right now, and he's very lucky that that first foul early in the game was not his, or he'd be in foul trouble sitting with 3 right now. That one went to Robert Horry.
Malone only 2 of 5 from the line tonight. Utah and Houston, New York and Indiana, the final 4 in the NBA. Who will play for all of it? Most people are picking New York and Houston, but don't count out these others yet. Indiana with a very valiant effort at Madison Square Garden last night.
Well, they were within 2, 85-83 last night. The 3-pointer by Hubert Davis and the 2 big plays by Oakley sort of broke that game open late.
Ellie with the drive. Tip in by Otis Thorpe. Jazz by 4.
Notice how Hornacek is on top of the floor a lot more tonight, actually playing more as a point guard rather than coming off stacks.
7 to shoot. Chambers will take the 3. Missing everything. Houston ball.
Boy, Jerry Sloan not happy at all with the shot that Tom Chambers took. Said something to him. Looked like Chambers said something back, and he's coming right out of the game.
Milton Spencer will be in just a moment. Olajuwon down low. Humphries almost stole that ball. Yeah, Tom Chambers will sit down. We want to follow this. See if there's a conversation that happens here. That's 3 on Humphries.
Milton Spencer replacing Tom Chambers. John Stockton for Jay Humphries.
Okay, I got it.
Jerry got his point across. He did not want that shot taken at that time. Tom Chambers got behind the 3-point line and took the 3. In the playoffs, he's now 0 for 7 from behind the line, so I think he'd like to see him take the ball to the basket and make the pass and swing the ball.
Stockton back into the game. Stockton, Hornacek with Felton Spencer, Tyrone Corbin, and the middleman.
Let's see the last 5.5 minutes. Really important now for the Utah Jazz. They played a very solid first half. Can they keep their lead?
Stockton with 10 to shoot, looking for Spencer. Olajuwon all over him.
Got to be careful. He's got 2 fouls.
Blocked. Here's Horry. 3 on 3. Ellie. Kenny Smith. Stockton in his face. Olajuwon has 14 points to lead all scorers, and it goes with 6 rebounds and a block shot.
And this crowd is into the game right now. Utah has done a nice job sort of keeping these people quiet.
Malone is fouled.
See, I think he does his best work down there. You really can't play him. I know he has to on occasion step out and shoot some jump shots, but he just punishes front lines when you get the ball inside. And what it does is it puts your front line in foul trouble. And then you get to go to the line, then you get to stop, then you get to rest a little bit, and the pace of the game slows. And when you're on the road, you want to keep that tempo in your favor. So the more you can get there, the more you have a chance to keep the game stopped.
And you get the front line in some foul trouble.
Right.
Horry with 2, Thorpe with 2, Olajuwon with 2.
Exactly right. And that the importance of getting to the free throw line in the playoffs, getting that ball inside, making them make decisions. Now if they double team, it will free up your open shooters. Hornacek has only taken 1 shot in the first half. He only has 1 point. That on a technical free throw for the illegal defense.
Olajuwon gets the Karl Malone miss. It's 37-36, Jazz by 1. 4:40 to go, first half, Game 2 Western Finals. Rockets leading the series 1-0.
The Karl Malone's free throw shooting has not been good this year, under 70% for the first time in a long time.
Hornacek. Karl Malone's 4 of 8 tonight.
On the regular season, he shot 69%, 736 attempts, and made 511. There's that play they ran the other night that Houston could not stop. That's what they worked on in the shoot-around today. That's the first time they've come with it, and they score.
The layup for Hornacek. It's a 3-point Jazz lead. 4 minutes to go first half.
Obviously, Stockton is not leaving Kenny Smith tonight. He's trying to stay at home on him, chase him off that three-point line.
But they spread out 3 players at three-point range, and if one of them penetrates, there's still somebody out there. This time, it's Robert Horry, and Houston is 5 of 9 from beyond the arc.
Well, they're the worst offensive rebounding team in the league, and the reason is because they do spread the floor. So to get those three-point shooting, you got to give up something.
Hornacek misses. Another rebound for Olajuwon. It's tied at 39. Ellie fouled on the penetration by Hornacek.
That'll be 2 free throws for Mario Ellie, who's come in and played a very solid game. You can basically count on this guy every night to give you a certain kind of numbers and effort. He has 4 points off the bench. But more importantly, when Humphries came into the game, he was playing big guard, and he stepped over to play him, and he's just as strong as Humphries, so they lost that advantage at that position.
And again, you know, Maxwell had to sit down relatively early tonight with, even though he had 2 3-pointers, he picked up 3 fouls. And that's the depth of those 4 guards, as you see Cassell and Maxwell on the bench. That's the depth of the 4 guards for Houston.
And you have to remember their 5th guard is Scotty Brooks, who this year played 25 entire 4th quarters, and they were 19 and 5 in those games. So he's that little insurance policy in case one of those 4 are not doing it.
Ellie's 6 of 6 from the line. Houston's 10 for 10 tonight. 2-point lead. Hornacek has it stripped away. It's going to be Houston ball, leading by 2. 3:10 to go in the half.
Well, Hornacek wanted to get to the foul line, thought that he was hacked on the arm. The ball did go off his leg, but he did think he was fouled.
Kenny Smith, nice move inside, finds Olajuwon, who does likewise, and he draws the foul from Felton Spencer.
Guy just wears you out. You know, you say you got to get tired, Hakeem, at some point in time, but you said it a while ago, he's worked on his strength, he feels fresh, and I think Isaiah said it a while ago in the studio. The guy was the best player to start the year, he was the best player in the middle, and he's now the best player at the end when you want him to be the best.
You saw Felton Spencer with 3, and Tom Chambers back into the game as Spencer sits down. He got a glare from Jerry Sloan.
Coaching is great, isn't it?
You know. 43-39, Rockets by 4. Olajuwon, 16 points, 8 rebounds. Flawless at the free throw line, 6 out of 6.
So the Rockets were down by 7 and now up 4. Maybe make it 1 if he hits his 3.
Horry got out there and bothered that shot.
With the 5-minute mark, I said how important it was for them to keep the lead. If they score here, they're going to be down 6.
Bad pass from Kenny Smith. Ellie couldn't get the shot off in time with 8 on the shot clock. Back out to Ellie. Bank. You needed to call something. Looks like some of your sit-down shots from the chair at the shoot-around today. 43-39, Rockets by 4. 2:28 to go in the half.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? It's more than a question, it's an answer.
This is the showroom where we sell the most Ford trucks. It's called the real world, and the only salesman is the truck itself. In fact, our trucks have sold so many people on Ford, we have more repeat buyers than any other truck, which isn't surprising. Because at Ford, we've always figured that if you make a habit of building better trucks, people will make a habit of driving them. Ford F-Series. For 17 straight years, the best-selling trucks are built Ford tough.
This isn't some blazing spot on the equator. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we make sure our exterior house paints resist fading and peeling. It's one of 77 tests we do, so you can give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Airbags, seat belts, and anti-lock brakes, child safety seats, careful driving, and a set of Michelins.
You know, at AutoZone, we know our customers work just as hard as we do. So we're open when they need us, at night and on Sundays. And since 2 million folks each week count on AutoZone for what they need when they need it, we're not about to let them down. That's why we carry so many parts and why we price them so low every day. You see, selling top quality parts at low prices every day is how we make a living. But helping customers, well, that's how we make friends.
Rockets by 4, 2:28 to go in the half. That means you're 2 minutes, 28 seconds away from, I don't know, paradise, ecstasy. Ernie Johnson, Isaiah Thomas. The matchup, I just can't imagine it. Jazz Rockets recap at halftime. Craig Sager has an interview with Pacers Larry Brown, but mostly we'll find out all the new insides about that new Toronto franchise.
That'd be great.
So we'll be listening for you, Isaiah. 43-39, Houston Rockets. The Reebok halftime report just 2:28 away. How about the threes?
Well, in the series so far, Utah 1 for 10. They were 0 for 5 in game 1. They're 1 for 5 tonight. Houston 15 for 34. They're 5 for 10 tonight, plus 42 points from the three-point line.
Their Rockets, well named. 8 to shoot. Stockton, nowhere to go. Tries the baseline. He's fouled down there before he passes out to Corbin. That's 3 on Thorpe. Now, when you add that 3 on Thorpe, 2 on Ori, 2 on Olajuwon, and 2 on Earl Cureton off the bench, you were talking about the big men getting into foul trouble. I mean, they are definitely adding them up down there on the front line.
Well, I tell you another reason why it's important for Karl Malone to punish the front line and get to the foul line. Because what happens once you get into penalty, now when your guards drive and they get fouled, they shoot 2 free throws. And you've got Stockton and Hornacek. One's an 80% free throw shooter. The other one's in the 90s. So it's almost a guaranteed 2 points. That's why your big men got to get the front line in foul trouble.
How about that? At the same time, 2 of the Doug Collins phenoms enter the game from that All-Star game, the rookie All-Star game. Cassell and Brian Russell. They come on the floor at the same time.
Well, they're talking to each other. I don't like that. I want them, they're on opposite teams now. They got to get away and talk after the game. We don't want any socializing during the game.
You know, you coach these guys at one game, and you still kind of see it.
It's a bonding. There's a bonding.
You bonded. I like that. Walter bonded. Well, that's too complicated. Kenny Smith's pull-up jumper. And the foul. Jeff Hornacek.
See, the one thing when you think of the Utah guards, they don't have great quickness. I mean, Jeff Hornacek does not have great quickness, and he tries to get to Kenny Smith, who has the speed advantage there, gets to the point on the floor, pulls up nicely and shoots it and gets the three-point play. So that's an unusual three-point play for Kenny Smith.
Like we say in pool, the hard way.
That's right, the hard way.
Minute 48 to go in the half. Rockets have built a 5-point lead. Malone. Looked like he traveled. No whistle. He gets the 15-footer. Karl Malone has 10 points all in this second quarter.
Now, he had 4 at the first half the other night, and Hornacek had none. Tonight, Hornacek with 3.
Look at that pass from Olajuwon. Open man, Cassell. Misses the jumper. Stockton has it raked away by Ori. Olajuwon has too much room to work. You can't stop him there.
See, Karl Malone, you say, why was he able to defend David Robinson and have a tough time with Olajuwon? Because David Robinson takes his game to the perimeter, and Malone strips him on the way up. Hakeem spins so quickly, does not expose the ball, and Malone is not a shot blocker, so he cannot match up against Olajuwon.
Rockets by 5, under a minute. Chambers with that big drive to the basket didn't get it. Cureton with the loose ball and Cassell. 45 seconds in the half.
In the last 5 minutes here of this halftime, as we get a 20-second timeout, I said something at the 5:59 mark about how important it was going to be to finish strong. The Jazz were up 7. They're now down 5. If they go down 7 here or 8 before half, it's a 15-point swing in the last 6 minutes of the half.
20-second timeout. That's what Jerry Sloan's talking about right now. You see his assistant coach, Phil Johnson, in the background. Very tightly knit coaching staff.
Yeah, they were fun. We had a chance to be at the shoot-around today. And so I think you said something interesting. When you see one, you see them all.
Yeah.
They really enjoy hanging out with each other. And they've done a wonderful job with this Utah team. With the addition of Hornacek, and you've got Stockton, you've got Karl Malone. You know, they're a legitimate threat to be able to come out of the West.
Jerry Sloan, Phil Johnson, Gordon Chaser, David Friedman, and of course Don Sparks, the trainer.
And our man TC, the assistant equipment man, who hopefully will take good care of us before we're through this trip.
With some equipment. Matt Bullard into the game, one of his rare appearances, misses the layup. Chambers with the rebound. and Utah a chance to cut into this lead with 25 seconds to go.
Nice pass. Nice pass by Brian Russell. Baseline side bounce pass away from the defense. Malone with the layup again. He's doing all of his work now inside. He's not drifting out on the perimeter.
And we said the big men, and we were talking about the impact, they'd have 18 points from Olajuwon, 12 now from Malone.
Look at the bounce pass away from the defense. That's textbook. Cassell cannot get there soon enough. So now Malone will go to the free throw line for his 9th time in the first half.
And it is a 2-point game. The Jazz were looking at the possibility of being down as many as 8.
Get a good stop here. It's a 2-point game. At half, it was a 20-point lead for Houston in game 1.
Time remaining in the half on the lower right of your screen. There's the screen and roll with Cassell and Boyd. Open man Ori.
Nice rotation that time by Utah. Chased them right out of the play.
1 second left. They're not going to get a shot off.
That is the end of the first half with our score.
The end of the first half, the Rockets lead it by 2. Utah must feel better about this. Karl Malone came alive in period number 2 with 13 points, and as Doug pointed out, he got them down low and went to the line. After this, we'll join Ernie and Isaiah.
Dream Team 2, coming this summer
on TNT.
No matter where I park, it draws a crowd. It's a 55! It's a 55! 55. 55. This is one of the last real classics of our time. What do you think of the bumper, huh? Everything's original. And I take care of it myself right down to the oil and the Purolator filter.
Pure oil now.
It's a 55! So when someone asks me how I've kept up the engine, I just show them the Purolator.
Purolator.
I don't think you'd all fit.
Legends live.
55!
Purolator, Purolator.
Sometimes the best way to change your life is to change your clothes.
How was your day?
I forget. Fruit of the Loom. Clothes that make you feel good.
Before you ask the questions, Canon has the answers. The speed, the power, the vision. When the rest say you can't, Canon says you can. The corporate line of high-volume copiers. Now you can. Call 1-800-OK-CANON.
What tire do you trust in the wet? A tire that removes over 2 gallons of water per second from under the tread. The all-season MX4. Another engineering splash from Michelin.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok, to remind you that on Planet Reebok, there are no rules.
All right, 24 minutes in the books at the Summit, and the Rockets have a 48-46 lead over the Utah Jazz. This is the Reebok Halftime Report. This is Isaiah Thomas. I'm Ernie Johnson. Utah down by 20 in Game 1 at the break. Much better stuff, only down by a deuce this time around, Zeke.
The most important thing right now is the tempo. The first game, Houston was able to come out, get into the fast break, get into the transition, had the floor spread, able to launch three-point shots. Olajuwon going crazy. Second game, Utah's come out. They're deliberate in the half-court offense. They're running time off the clock. Houston's not getting as many shot attempts, so therefore you have a closer game, and the tempo favors Utah right now.
48-46 is the count in favor of the Houston Rockets. We want to take a couple of minutes now and talk about this new chapter in your life. You're the VP of basketball operations for the Toronto Raptors, who started in the 95-96 season. All your life, you have been a key part of somebody's puzzle, Isaiah. Now, you're putting this puzzle together. Is that intimidating at all? Where do you start?
Well, right now, I think the most important thing we have to start with is putting together a staff to go out and scout talent. The thing that we're going to be looking for in Chicago is we get a chance to see college players play. Also, we got to go out and scout the summer leagues, because the guys that we're going to have a chance to draft in the dispersal draft are people who probably won't get a chance to play that much during the regular season, because we get to pick from 9 through 12. So we got to get all our work done this summer so we can clearly evaluate the talent.
How much do you go back into your career and say, you know what won me championship rings was the bad boy thing in Detroit? I mean, are you going to try to put an image of a team together and then draft those kind of guys because this is the kind of team you want?
Well, I think your organization has to establish the type of philosophy and the vision that it wants to set out, the culture you want to build for the players to participate in. And what we want to do is we want to have the ultimate place that players want to come and play. We want to do everything for our players to make sure that the players can go out and perform. So we want to build an organization based on performance so guys can get out there and play.
What do you think about now for a head coach? Do you go to somebody who you've had experience with in your career or somebody who other guys say, hey, this guy is ready for it? How do you approach that? Who's the head coach?
I think right now we have a lot of time to decide who the head coach is going to be. As you know, there's a lot of shuffling that goes along every year in terms of the head coaching ranks. In college and also in the pros. So we're in no hurry to make a decision on who the coach is going to be.
Would you lean toward a guy with NBA head coaching experience or a first-timer, or does it matter?
I don't think it really matters. I think, you know, from our standpoint, the Raptors standpoint, what we want to do is probably hire somebody who can grow within our organization. We want to build a family-type organization where everybody can get along and everybody can coexist and live with each other's problems.
Big step for Isaiah Thomas. We congratulate you, too, on the new position with Toronto. When the Reebok Halftime Report continues, we're going to hear from Craig Sager, who spent the day with the Pacers' Brain Trust after a Game 1 loss in New York. We'll be back.
Seattle, average rainfall 39 inches. Phoenix, average high 103 degrees. Minneapolis, average low 7. Every year, Andersen windows and patio doors stand up to the harshest sun, the coldest wind, the hardest rain. So much for the law of averages.
The first time I switched pain relievers, it was from aspirin to Tylenol. Then recently, I switched again, from Tylenol acetaminophen to Advil. You see, I got these really pounding headaches, and I found Tylenol didn't always get rid of all the pain. So I tried Advil and found that for my really tough headaches, 2 Advil worked better than 2 extra-strength Tylenol tablets, better than extra-strength Tylenol caplets, better than Tylenol gel caps. For my tough headaches, Advil just works better. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Punctual boy, our son.
Punctual all over the world, UPS drivers are the same. Ask their mothers.
He's not rich, he's not handsome, but punctual. He was even born on time.
They're obsessed with being on time, so UPS now guarantees on-time delivery to hundreds of cities around the world, or your money back.
If my son says he will be there, he will be there.
It's a guarantee that not only has our driver's word on it, it has their mother's.
He breaks out in a rush if he's late.
McDonald's takes you back to bedrock.
Fellow lodge members, introducing one that is truly unique, one of extraordinary appeal, the Grand Poobah Supersized Meal at McDonald's.
A juicy McRib sandwich smothered in tangy sauce with supersized fries and a large Coke.
Last one of McDonald's is a fossil! Grand Poobah meals for everyone! Order!
You're such Neanderthals.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Rockets by a bucket at the break as the Reebok Halftime Report continues. Tomorrow night, we'll bring you Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final, the Pacers and Knicks from the Garden. In Game 1, New York stayed unbeaten at home in the playoffs, 7-0. It was the first time in this postseason that Indiana failed to win the opener on the road. Craig Sager's following this series and gives us an inside look at a Pacer team trying to make the right adjustments before Game 2.
In Game 1, the Knicks succeeded in disrupting the execution of the Pacers' offense. Indiana's top-scoring threat, Reggie Miller, took just 11 shots, made 5, and scored 14 points, far below his average. Early Wednesday morning at the famed Plaza Hotel, after a night of viewing tape and evaluating stats, Indiana coach Larry Brown met with his staff to formulate a new game plan.
I think our biggest adjustment is how we can get some people involved offensively, and naturally how you can get Reggie more shots.
This is the area of his profession where Larry Brown excels. He has coached 6 pro teams and 2 colleges, with great success at each. He is a master at the X's and O's. Wednesday's practice was closed to the media. However, he shared his game plan with us.
A lot of times, we'd screen and Reggie would curl into the defense. where their guard could help and their big guy could help. And we want them, you know, again, to step out or to fade it.
One thing on thumbs down, Tony, or thumbs up.
The biggest key is making quick moves once you get the ball, because you want to give a chance for the defense to set. You got to be able to make quick moves against the Knicks and make them react to you instead of them coming out holding and pushing.
Do you expect to be a bigger factor in the game Thursday night?
Well, I hope so. You know, that's my main idea, is to come out and go to the game instead of waiting for the game to come to me.
Do you feel confident leaving practice today that the team, particularly yourself, have made the subtle changes to win Game 2?
I think that's what the playoffs are all about, is making those changes from game to game. It's going to be difficult, but I think it can be done. We just can't let ourselves get in the hole too much.
Well chronicled was Reggie Miller's post-game or post-series after Atlanta, saying he wanted New York. What's the risk, Isaiah, of coming out and saying something like that?
Well, in all defense to Reggie, I think what Reggie probably was saying is that he wanted to play the best team, and the best season all season long in the East has been New York. Even though Atlanta had the best record, New York has been the best team in the East. And I think he just wanted to play against the best team and play against the best competition, as opposed to...
Does that wind up on somebody's wall, though, and take them the other way? Hey, you want us, you got us, and all that?
Yeah, it does. And I think it probably, ended up on John Starks' locker, that, hey, Reggie Miller wants him back. And, I was at the game the other night, and it was a well-played basketball game. Reggie Miller didn't get very many shot attempts because, the defense was so good. And to his credit, he didn't try to force it. It was a well-played basketball game. Each team defended, well.
Well played and well coached in Game 2 tomorrow night right here on TNT. The Reebok Halftime Report continues in just a minute.
Or you can put in Schlegg locks, the Doberman of locks.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer for the Money Store. Even if your credit is less than perfect, you can still refinance your first mortgage at today's low fixed rates. That's because the Money Store looks at your total credit picture and won't automatically disqualify you for late payments. At the Money Store, you can apply by phone and there's no application fee. So if you want to refinance at today's low rates, even if your credit isn't perfect, call 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Welcome back to Atlanta. Before the game started tonight, you saw Hakeem Olajuwon get his MVP award. He's got 18 points in the first half to lead all scorers. Utah right in this thing, though. How do they tie the series here in the second half?
Well, right now, Utah has the tempo. They have control of the game. And if they can come out the second half and keep the same tempo and don't let Houston get into any spurts, Utah could very well win this basketball game tonight.
Houston hasn't lost at home since dropping the first two against Phoenix. They rebounded from that to win that series, and now it's a 48-46 game at the break. Third period just ahead.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok, who reminds you that on Planet Reebok, there are no limits.
Introducing Mylanta Soothing Lozenges. For the first time ever, and an acid in the form of a lozenge. For liquid relief as it dissolves in your mouth. New Mylanta Soothing Lozenges. My doctor said Mylanta.
If you're taking the leading prescription medicines for asthma, ulcers, or high blood pressure, and you need a pain reliever, the one doctors recommend most is Tylenol. Not aspirin, not ibuprofen. Talk to your doctor about Tylenol.
Is stripping old paint a pain in the elbow? Well, now you can power off old paint, stain, varnish, even rust with Easy Stripper. It literally eats old paint. Forget messy chemicals or changing sheets of sandpaper. Easy Stripper strips window frames and powers paint off siding. It's gentle enough to remove old varnish, yet it chews up thick, scaly rust in seconds. Yes, Easy Stripper powers off old paint and rust on contact. But there's more. Here's the driver. Now you can power in any screw in seconds. Monster screws like this, or tiny screws like this. Even screws above your head. Yes, when you order Easy Stripper to power off paint and rust, you also get the driver to power in any screw. Both tools for an incredible $19.95. Order now.
For rush delivery, call 1-800-421-2000 or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping to Easy Stripper Plus, P.O. Box 2666, Atlanta, Georgia, for your Easy Stripper and driver. Order now.
Well, a tale of two games here from game one to game number two. At this point in game number one, it was all over but the shouting for Houston. They led it by 20 points. But tonight, after the adjustments, much like in the game against San Antonio in the previous series, Utah came back and they've done a much better job. Here's game one, trailed by 20, Malone and Hornacek. Hornacek had no points in that first half, and the big turnover story that you pointed out at the beginning of the game.
Well, this was out of character. The 12 turnovers for 20 points was out of character. Tonight, they're more in character with that. They only turned the ball over 5 times for 4 points, so the 16-point turnaround there is really the difference right now in the first half. Malone and Hornacek, 16 points. More importantly, Karl Malone punishing the front line of Houston, getting a lot of their players in foul trouble. And again, if they can maintain tempo here in the second half, get off to a good start, get into their offense with rhythm, and not allow Houston to get a big spurt, they have a great chance to even this series.
How about this one? Utah is not lost when they're leading at the half. They are 0 for 5 when trailing. They are trailing here, but only by 2, 48-46.
Now remember, in the second half of game one, Jeff Hornacek shot 0 for 5 in the first half. In the second half, 9 for 10. Came on strong. He only took 3 shots in that first half. So look to see if they try to get him more involved offensively. A little two-man game with he and Karl Malone curling on the baseline.
Kenny Smith and Maxwell at the guards. It's Thorpe, Olajuwon, and Ori up front for Houston. Karl Malone, Felton Spencer, and David Benoit, the front line for Utah, with Stockton and Hornacek in the backcourt. 5 to shoot. Kenny Smith. Not this time. Spencer the rebound.
Good rotation by Benoit. Little bigger guy rotating at Kenny Smith. Forced him to shoot a quick shot.
Stockton with the penetration in the dish. The versatility of Hornacek. That's what Utah got when they traded him for Jeff Malone. He can do so many more things. 4 to shoot. Benoit has to double clutch. Rebound Otis Thorpe. Excellent half-court defense on the part of the Houston Rockets. Maxwell's pull-up jumper. Rebound Spencer. He has only 3 rebounds in this game. Malone out of the break for the layup.
See, you just can't give the big guy layups. He had a breakaway dunk in the first half, a layup there. Now quietly he's back to 5 for 9 shooting, 5 for 9 from line. He has 15 points, on pace for that 27-point average that he has in the playoffs.
8 to shoot.
5. See, that's that strip down low. That's where he can be so effective. He's not a great shot blocker, but when you expose the ball down low, he'll strip it away from you.
Now Thorpe gets called for the personal foul. It'll be Utah's ball, and it's Otis Thorpe with 4 personals now.
All right, now what does that do? That brings Earl Cureton in the game because Carl Herrera is sitting on the bench with a dislocated shoulder. Hakeem Olajuwon is probably going to have to give more help. If he does, be aware now of Felton Spencer floating around, maybe getting some easy baskets. A little trickle-down effect what that foul problem does.
Tied at 48. Open man is Benoit. Now Hornacek with 5. The runner. Oh! Tip in Spencer. Was that? Could have been offensive interference, but wasn't called.
I think they gave the basket to Hornacek.
Yes, they did. They say Felton Spencer didn't touch it. Jazz by 2. Olajuwon up and under, jump hook.
No, he keeps getting dizzy, all those spin moves that he makes.
I get dizzy saying it. And he has 20, the MVP. Tied at 50.
Tough matchup, Cureton and Karl Malone. Does a nice job fronting, but there's Felton Spencer.
Good follow, but Olajuwon with the board out to Ori to Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith has it. He loses it himself out of bounds. It'll belong to Utah.
Jeff Hornacek, that's okay. He said, I got bumped in the first half and it went off my leg and there was no call. So consistent here. No call by the official. Little bump right there. Kenny Smith loses the ball. Incidental contact.
Now this is more in character of what you would expect here. Rockets 10 turnovers, Utah only 5. Felton Spencer going big for the rebound.
See, they lose a rebound, and now Curitan's really going to have to be tough on the boards. And Robert Horry, who had 11 rebounds in game 1, has got to be back and be a rebounder.
Hornacek squared up and missed it. Malone gets the long loose ball.
See the importance of Otis Thorpe in the game, though. That's 2 rebounds now that he would have gotten.
Utah now much stronger on that front line.
See the confidence in that jump shot, though. Malone is not hesitating now.
Tied at 50. That's 10 rebounds for Hakeem Olajuwon to go to his 20 points. 8:46 to go, third quarter. Horry keeping it alive and then running it down. He should take that 3. Spencer, the big body from the University of Louisville. Rebounding better here in the second half. He was quiet on the boards in the first. Malone more confidence, but he's missed his last 2. Horry gets it out to Maxwell. He's fouled on the penetration. Easy. Vernon Maxwell trying to keep his cool. I've talked to him about his ejections in the games, and he said, you know, I try to keep my cool. I don't know what happens when I explode. I want to stop it as much as you do. He used good judgment in not exploding against Karl Malone.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. Not only would he get thrown out of the game, but Karl Malone's one of those guys in the league that you don't want to mess with.
The sheriff, Karl Malone. Didn't he play the role in a movie of a deputy sheriff?
Yeah, I think he did. I remember when Barkley was traded to the West out in Phoenix, he said, I just want to let Karl Malone know there's a new sheriff in town.
That's right. I still take Karl even in that one. Charles is listening. I'll hear from him. Rockets by 2, 7:57 to go in the third quarter. Malone gets the basket, and he'll go to the line.
So he missed 2 jump shots, so he gets back in the paint. Both of his baskets in this half have been one a run-out layup, and this one a post-up play where he makes a spectacular catch, his great hands. Has 4 guys around him when he finishes this play. You can give that foul to 4 different people.
They gave it to Curitan, and that is his 3rd. So now Thorpe has 4, Curitan has 3, Olajuwon 2, and Ori 2.
Well, Karl Malone did most of his shooting from the perimeter on Monday night. As a result, he shot only 3 free throws. Tonight, he's attempted 9, and we still have almost a quarter and a half, or over a quarter and a half to go in tonight's game.
Jazz by 1, 7:54 to go in the third. Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you from the Summit in Houston, Texas. Be off to Salt Lake City for a 9 o'clock Eastern time game on Friday night.
That's a hustle play. Got down and dug it out.
That was David Benoit. He got it to Hornacek to Stockton. Into Malone, but Curitan, good hands. Wow, speaking of good hands, how about Maxwell, then how about Spencer? Oh.
Look at Felton Spencer run the floor. I didn't know he had this kind of lift.
Neither did Vernon.
Look at this with the left hand to prevent from getting the foul. What a great play by Felton Spencer to prevent from giving up 2 points.
Not many quicker players in the league than Vernon Maxwell. Benoit.
Well, they need someone to knock down a 3 so badly. The defense is collapsing. They're sending 2-3 guys at Malone, and they just don't have a consistent 3-point shooter other than Jeff Hornacek. He is 11 for 23 in the playoffs. The whole team only has 23.
They're 1 for 11 tonight. 10 to shoot for Houston. Kenny Smith. Olajuwon. The runner. Okay, let's see. He has the jump hook. He has the two-handed jam, the one-handed jam, the windmill jam, and about 9 of those. He has the runner.
Now he hits you with a runner.
He has the fadeaway. He has the up and under. Maybe got to work and give him some more to his game.
Maybe that's why they end him the MVP trophy. Good game
Good
start.
call. Exactly. I've been wondering about that. Stockton knocks down a jumper. Jazz by 1. John Stockton with 10 points in this game. Houston gets a timeout on the floor. They are trailing by 1, leading in this series 1 game to none. 6:23 to go in the third quarter from the Summit.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by GMC Truck, the strength of experience. And by Dutch Boy. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Russell!
Hi, Rick. Hey, Brian. How the wife and kids? How's your mom? Good. She says hi. Good.
And the winner of tonight's match is Ice Cold Bud Light. Bud Light!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
At GMC Truck, we've built a reputation for truck strengths. A considerable advantage. It also comes in this handy take-home side. Sierra from GMC Truck.
Playoff thrill, spills, and chills.
Look out, it's on wire. Yeah! Baldwin! I want the inside stuff.
Then meet a mailman on a special delivery. Utah's Karl Malone works to deliver an NBA title. Who is this year's most valuable player? Cast your vote and get the inside stuff. Saturday.
Now that's the inside stuff.
Jazz by 1 with 6:23 to go in the quarter. Tonight, Western Finals Game 2. Tomorrow night, Eastern Finals Game 2. Pacers at Madison Square Garden. Ron Thulin, Hubie Brown will be with him. How about Hubie's new jacket? Hubie was looking, what do we say?
Yeah, he was styling last night. Yes, he was.
Clean. Ron looked pretty good, too. And on Friday night, Dream Team 2 special at 8. Pre-game show at 8:30. Doug and I will be in Salt Lake City at 9 Eastern time for Game 3. Rockets, Jazz on TNT. Robert Horry. Big move inside, a three-point opportunity. He was fouled by David Benoit. His second.
You don't see Robert Horry create his own shot that often. Normally he spots up at the 3 or he moves without the basketball. This time, 2 hard dribbles to get into the lane and then a step across, and one Alabama to another, and Robert Horry gets the best of that.
They played together 1 year at Alabama.
Yeah, that was some program they had going there with Sprewell and James Robinson, these 2 guys.
Ball goaltending, count the basket. Rockets by 3.
Olajuwon again hanging in the air. I don't know how he got the pass through. There's the goaltender. I don't know whether that ball got above the basket or not. That was very close. The ball has to have a chance and be above the basket to go in. I think it was still on the way up.
Good call. Harold Curbson off the bench, 2 points. He has given Houston 6 rebounds. Remember, Thorpe has 4 personals. Benoit, hard to the hoop. Look at the lumping ability. Well, or leaping or jumping.
Benoit took it to the basket also, too. He takes 2 strong hard dribbles, that time going to his left hand.
Malone has the lumping ability.
Yeah, putting lumps on you.
Illegal defense, the call against Utah. That's their first call, so that'll be a new shot clock and a sideline out of bounds. Rockets up by 1. We talked about the guards being a big story tonight.
Well, look, yeah, it's a 20-point turnaround. I guess that's a big story. So right now the Jazz guards playing very, very well, and the Rockets guards not getting the open threes that they got the other night.
The runner from Kenny Smith. Tough shot as he got inside of John Stockton. 8 points for Smith. Maxwell has 8. Ellie 6. Cassell has not scored in this game.
But they're chasing him off the three-point line right now. They're not getting those open shots that they got. 24 threes they attempted in game 1.
Yeah, Curran trying to play Malone now to Hornacek. They'll probably go back to the mailman. 5 to shoot. Kept it alive. Hornacek fielded that like a shortstop on a short hopper. He fielded it and Maxwell.
Oh, great pass. Great pass by Stockton. Off the dribble. No look to Felton Spencer underneath the basket. What a super play.
I've said all along, that Stockton's a good passer.
Well, he's got such big hands, Bob, for a smaller player that he can control the ball with one hand off the dribble. Normally, you don't like to see your guards do that. You'd like to see them pick it up because what happens is if someone gets in the passing lane, you can't pull that ball back once you've already established you're going to be a passer with one hand. Stockton, that was a great pass.
And maybe they should make him the point guard.
That'd be a good idea. Maybe he'll get a few assists in his career.
Olajuwon with 10 to shoot. Horry didn't control the ball. Got his own ball back. Hold it. Wave it off. Bennett Salvatore said, you caught your own ball, and it's a double dribble. Now, did it hit the rim, and was it a rebound?
No, it did not hit the rim. He pinned himself up under the backboard. Watch this. It goes up under the backboard. Right there. See?
Yeah. Good call. Crowd doesn't agree, but it was a good one, as you saw.
Well, the crowd,
it's by one.
The crowd doesn't know the rule. That's why they disagree. Well, Earl Carrollton's really battling inside against Karl Malone.
5 to shoot. That'll be 4 on Currington.
See what Malone has done? He's got the whole front line in foul trouble. I mean, 5 on Currington.
4 on Thorpe. 2 on Horry. 2 on Olajuwon. Well, at least Earl Currington's using up his fouls.
You've got to let him stay in the game even if he fouls out, because you have to have Thorpe come back in fresh off the bench with the idea that he's got 2 fouls to waste going into the fourth quarter. So right now Earl Currington's got to be smart and try to be able to play these last 4 minutes.
Yeah, you look down that Utah bench, they're running into problems. Our GMC truck scoreboard, you see Indiana with virtually the same score as this first game. 189, New York got the win last night, and they lead that series 1-0.
Interesting substitution now. Robert Horry, who played Barkley some in the Phoenix series, now is playing power forward. Chris Gent is in at the small forward, so he'll play Benoit. They have Maxwell and Smith and Olajuwon, a very small lineup. Let's see if Horry can give them 4 minutes against Karl Malone.
Tied at 60. Olajuwon spins into the lane, count the basket. This may be a game of attrition. That's 4 on Spencer.
See, he comes across the middle, and you say, well, maybe he's going to spin back. And so you sort of wait for him to spin back, and he doesn't spin back. He comes in the lane with the jump hook. So the next time he comes across the middle, you jump out there, and he spins back. So you say, how do I guard this guy?
No, you don't. 24 points, 11 rebounds. Now Tom Chambers will try him. What Jerry Sloan was saying about Tom Chambers playing Olajuwon early in the season, he said Chambers used his experience to front him some, to hold him a little bit, to pull some post-defense tricks on him. But, the tricks only last so long against a player as good as Hakeem Olajuwon. Houston, by the way, has only missed 1 free throw tonight, 16 of 17 at the line. Maxwell goes down, leaving Malone one-on-one, and he gets the hook shot.
Bob, I watched that sequence. Maxwell tried to hold up Malone coming across the lane. He just threw him down like a little kid.
Olajuwon tried both the step in and the up and under. Let's see what he tries this time. He'll just go to the step in, take the personal foul.
That's only 14 fouls, so not yet in the penalty unless they're going to give him a 2-shot foul.
Chambers with 2 personals. That's the 4th team foul, by the way.
Yeah, I thought that a moment there they were going to give him a 2-shot foul. They said it was on the floor, so sideline out of bounds. Both teams now with 14 fouls, so in the last 3:18 here, for whatever foul is committed will be a shooting foul.
Utah is winning the battle of the number of free throws, but Houston shooting them better, 16 of 17. Here's Maxwell. That's 3 3-pointers from Vernon. Kenny Smith had 6 in game 1. Vernon Maxwell 3 here in Houston, 6 of 13 from beyond the arc. Rockets by 4. Illegal defense is called against Houston on Maxwell. John Stockton will step up there and shoot it. Rockets by 4. That's the third illegal defense and the second technical against Houston.
Timeout, Utah.
Utah gets a timeout with 2:51 to go in the third quarter. It's a 3-point Rockets lead.
See the legendary Kung Fu every weeknight at 7 on TNT. This is the all-new GMC Sonoma. There are so many changes that we couldn't tell you about all of them in 30 seconds, so we wrote a book about it. Call 1-800-GMC-TRUCK and check one out. Sonoma from GMC Truck.
Make your money work harder than ever. Call now for your free Wall Street Journal guide to understanding money and investing. It focuses on financial markets so you can make informed choices. Call now to get your guide free when you subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, where you'll find information you need to get ahead. Get 10 weeks of the journal for just $36 and the guide to understanding money and investing free with your paid subscription. Call toll-free 800-421-2000. That's 800-421-2000.
You know you need life insurance to protect the family you love. We know the way things go, it's hard to find the money to pay the premiums. You know you've got to do it, and we know we can help you. So if you need $25,000 to $1 million or more of quality life insurance protection, call today, 800-421-2000 for this free information package. Garden State Life may be able to save you as much as 50% off what you're paying for term life insurance protection. Call 800-421-2000, toll free.
Well, it's party time at the Summit tonight. Rockets by 3 points. And take a look at Jerry Burrell, known as Turbo Man. Through the newspaper. Nothing but net.
Bob, let's take a look now at the last replay here. Hakeem Olajuwon's going to get the ball into the post. And we're going to stop it. Here's going to be a double team. Here comes a triple team. And watch what happens now as we stop this. All right, triple team, three-point shooter here, one here. Olajuwon decides to go out to Maxwell. And this is what opens up the three-point shooting. That's a wide-open look for Maxwell. And that's what happens when you have the double and triple team in. Olajuwon now playing Malone.
On the penetration, out to Jay Humphries into the game for Utah. Chris Jett trying to play Tom Chambers. That's a size mismatch, too. 5 to shoot. Open man. Humphries. Good pass inside for Jay Humphries.
What a great pass. We've seen some excellent passing tonight.
From Bigman.
Yes.
4 assists for Karl Malone. Olajuwon spins so quickly, they had to grab him.
If you're Jerry Sloan right now, you're buying time. Let's stay within 1 or 2 or 3 points. We've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Let's let Felton Spencer get a rest. At some point in time, maybe Rudy T will give Olajuwon a rest. Maybe we can make a little bit of a push. Or it might be one of those nights that Hakeem plays about 46, 47 minutes.
Tom Chambers just picked up his 3rd personal. So remember now, Spencer carrying 4, Chambers with 3. Those are the centers for Utah. Both down. 9 for 9 from the free throw line. 27 points with 2 minutes and change left in the 3rd period. Stockton, the drive, the kick out to Malone. He slipped.
Oh, he twisted like he hurt his foot. Rolled his ankle. Boy, Humphries didn't see it. They wanted a 20-second timeout. Now they're going to have to take a foul. This could be a 4-point swing if they have to take a foul.
Malone limping but staying in there. Illegal defense will stop the clock.
See, Malone's foot was so bothering him so badly, he was illegal because he was way below the line away from Robert Horry.
He's staying on the
floor. Right there. Look at him roll that right ankle over. Oh, my goodness.
He's staying out there. He just waved off. Jerry Sloan says, I'm all right.
That'll be one of those things that you roll it over and you get all the adrenaline tonight. You don't want to cool off. You might as well stay on the floor. And then tomorrow you got to hope that the thing doesn't swell. But if you look at his legs, look how high his ankles are taped.
Yeah.
He has some heavy tape on both of those ankles.
That'll be something. His team will go back to Salt Lake City tonight right after the game. Get in about 2:30. They'll be icing it. From the corner, Chris Jett. The
Now remember,
Ohio State out of the CBA.
Shot an air ball in his first attempt. Olajuwon went over, gave him a tap, and he's hit 2 threes now.
I love this Chris Jett. He's got a great enthusiasm. He walked into practice today carrying a basketball with him. Crowd exploding here. 5 to shoot. Humphries. Corbin with 3. Jett went down. Block Olajuwon. Shot clock violation. Listen to this crowd.
The disparity in the three-point shooting is frightening. Utah just cannot get one to go. At this point, they're not even looking at it, and now they're driving the ball right to Olajuwon. Chris Jett might hit another one here.
7 3-pointers in this game for the Houston Rockets. Under a minute to go, third quarter. Houston has built a 7-point lead. It was a 2-point game at the half.
15 foul.
On Ori, that's his 3rd personal, so the fouls are building up on the Rockets up front too. 3 on Ori, 4 on Thorpe, 5 on Curitan, 2 on Olajuwon. That'll come to play in the final 12 minutes.
So Bob, they've got to decide now. Maybe Cassell. Maybe they start doubling off Cassell. Maxwell has 3 tonight. Jen has 2. Cassell has none tonight. Maybe they try to make a run off of him and maybe make him shoot some shots. But whoever they're leaving is making them be punished with 3-point shooting. I've never seen a team shoot the ball so well from the 3-point line. The only drought they've had is in Game 2 of the Phoenix series where they lost that 20-point lead in the last 10 minutes. Other than that, they have shot lights out from 3-point for the entire playoff.
Rockets by 5. Cassell letting that shot clock run down just a little bit. They roll into Ori. Missed the lay-in. Good pass out of bounds. Utah ball.
See if they try to go a quick 2-for-1 right now. 40 seconds on the clock. If Stockton can push it up, maybe get a high screen, he might look to shoot a quick 3 to go 2-for-1 possession. See if Malone screens for him here and he takes a quick shot.
He does and gives it to Malone for the quick shot. Olajuwon has 12 rebounds. They're calling the foul on Humphries. And that's 4.
I didn't see what happened. All I saw was Maxwell go down and Humphries also. Let's watch here. Oh, it looked like Maxwell had him wrapped up, didn't it? Let's watch. Does Maxwell have him? Maxwell's got him. Jay Humphries had his arms up. No wonder he's upset.
Remember, this is Texas. That was looked like a rodeo takedown.
That was a bad call right there. Humphries had both arms in the air, and he got his arm up around his shoulder and just pulled him down and made it look like Humphries was the one that was doing the fouling. So this could be a big turnaround here.
There's the free throw situation. The Rockets, up until that point, were shooting 95% from the line. Maxwell's been struggling from the free throw line, only 65% in the playoffs. I've pointed it out so many times, but I'll tell you again, in case you've been to Mars or someplace, Maxwell has a sore right hand. Rockets by 6.
Big possession here right now. If they don't score, Houston comes down. It's an 8-point game. If they do, they stop Houston. It's a 4-point game, so they could double up the lead here with a good stop and a score.
10 to shoot. Now 5. Chambers, baseline drive. Blocked by Olajuwon, but wave off the block, count the basket, call the goaltending, and Chambers has 4 points.
Now see, the difference in Tom Chambers today and Tom Chambers 4 years ago is that's a 2-hand dunk. And that one he tries to quick shoot and gets a block, but it is a goaltender.
Cassell is going to go all the way, get out of balance, and he's called for traveling. 4/10 of a second. Sam Cassell, the rookie's had a great playoffs. He is out of kilter tonight. No points for Cassell. 4-point Rockets lead. Only time to catch and shoot.
Now they're going to get it at the other end. This is a costly play. Now Houston might get a 3-point shot off. That's a costly play from Utah if Houston's able to score.
And Houston gets, of course, inbounded underneath their own hoop.
See, no one touches the ball, so it comes back to the point where it was thrown in.
4/10 will be time for a catch and shoot. No dribble. Catch, shoot. Would have counted. 73-69 Rockets by 4. The final 12 minutes coming up. Olajuwon with an MVP night. 27 and 12.
From Turner Network Television, Gettysburg, the epic motion picture becomes a monumental television event. Gettysburg premieres Sunday, June 26th on TNT.
Here comes Dream Team 2. They want to win the World Championship of Basketball. Want to know more? Watch this TNT Sports exclusive. Dream Team 2 takes on the world. Friday at 8 Eastern on TNT.
Hi. You know, this week, all Goodyear Eagles for performance cars and all Goodyear Wranglers for light trucks are on sale. Heck, I think this says it all. On sale, Wranglers, Eagles, Goodyear, all on.
Introducing the all-new GMC Sonoma. We've packed everything we know into this one, Sonoma from GMC Truck.
Well, we took two of the colors that we really liked the best and took them into Sears, and they matched it perfectly for us.
Memorial Day weekend is perfect for painting, which means it's time for Sears Memorial Day paint sale. Easy living and weather beater flat, only $9.99 a gallon.
No paint I know outlasts weather beater. That's why I picked it.
And Easy Living satin and low luster semi-gloss, only $10.99 a gallon. For the best finish, start at Sears' huge Memorial Day paint sale, bringing America's best to you.
People at Sears really made it easy for us.
Introducing the new Goodyear Eagle AquaTread for performance sedans. The wet traction of an AquaTread, the performance of an Eagle. 2 aqua channels maximize acceleration, cornering, and braking traction. The new Eagle AquaTread, only from Goodyear.
This is called Hakeem, Texas tonight. They've named the city after him because he was named MVP. You take a look at the Rockets, who are leading by 4 and the scoring by quarters.
Well, the Jazz are right in there. They have a chance to win this basketball game. When you look at some of the numbers, they're being out-rebounded 34-17, so minus 17 on the boards. But they've only turned the ball over 7 times tonight. They're shooting 47%. But the real story, 7 for 16 for the Rockets from 3, 1 for 6. So a disparity of 18 points from the three-point line. Still not as bad, though, the other night at 30.
Jay Humphries carrying his 4 fouls against Maxwell on the drive. Nowhere to go, out to Corbin. 5 to shoot. Hornacek. 3. Has to throw up a prayer. Was fouled by Sam Cassell.
It's been a tough night for Sam Cassell. He just has not been able to get into rhythm.
First team foul.
Going to foul Hornacek with a shot clock winding down. The reach in there. Hornacek, being the veteran player that he is, throws the ball at the basket and almost gets the shot to go in. That would have been a really tough three-point play.
6 points tonight for Jeff Hornacek. Jay Humphries walked over in front of our table here and kind of looked at me and shook his head. He's still thinking about that takedown from Vernon Maxwell when he got called for the foul. You better shake that off. It's a 2-point Rockets lead. Cassell is scoreless tonight.
And they're buying some time with Chambers on Olajuwon right now.
Ellie's open. Drive in, and the jumper goes awry. And Bennett Salvatore saves the ball.
See, Mario Ellie has not shot the ball well from the perimeter. Everything he's done has been a drive. He passed up the open shot and made a difficult shot attempt in traffic. You've got to take the shot that's there, that's presented. Don't make a tougher one.
Cassell and Ellie haven't shot any free throws tonight to support that point. No field goals tonight. Thorpe back in the game, by the way, carrying 4 fouls. Vernon Maxwell misfires badly. Rockets by 2.
Watch Humphries now. See if they try to free him up against Maxwell. Maybe a little one-on-one isolation is what they went to in the first half. And there he goes.
Olajuwon with his second block of the night. 4-on-2. Cassell to Olajuwon.
Wait a second. Didn't he just block that shot down here? How did he get down at this end?
Because he's Superman. That's why. 4 points. Rockets leading.
See, now he's playing Karl Malone.
For a second.
They just cannot get a free to go. There's Olajuwon with a blocked shot. Next time we look around, guess who's going to be laying the ball in at the other end? Hakeem Olajuwon.
Tom Chambers called for that foul, and now he has 4. So does Felton Spencer, who's back into the ball game. Malone and Spencer, Tyrone Corbin, with Humphries and Hornacek on the floor for Utah.
Going right back in the post to Olajuwon.
Cassell's pull-up jumper, not tonight. Neither Ellie nor Cassell have scored from the floor tonight.
Well, if they can win this game tonight with those guys giving him no points, it would be a tremendous bonus. I felt they've been the barometer of this team off the bench the entire playoff series.
Malone with a quick turnaround jumper, and Karl has 25 points tonight. And he scored nothing in the first quarter.
Remember now, the other night, Olajuwon 31 to 20. He was plus 11. Tonight, plus 4.
Thorpe. If he's called for the loose ball, and he is, that's 5 on Otis Thorpe. Houston in some trouble here, despite leading by 2. 9:38 to go. And a technical foul has been called down in front of the Houston bench. Tomjanovich is onto the floor. They're calling the technical on Otis Thorpe. We'll sort this out when we return. Tomjanovich is really upset.
America is still the land of rugged individualists.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
And every one of them demands something different from their Chevy truck. But they all want the same thing. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
This isn't the work of a kindergarten artist. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we make sure our kids' room paint will resist your little one's finishing touches. It's one of 73 tests we do, so you can give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
GI Fridays has me on these fresh-cut greens to promote their fresh-cut greens, like delicious grilled chicken Caesar salad, fresh greens loaded with charbroiled chicken. Whose idea was this?
Everyone looks forward to Fridays.
Enjoy history at the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Dutch Boy in the paint. You look at the rebounding difference with the Rockets 36 to 19. But look at the two stars. Malone 25, only 5 rebounds. He had 16 the other night. Many of those, though, Doug, came off offensive rebounds when he missed. Olajuwon 29 and 12.
And also, a lot of Karl Malone's stats the other night were really not meaningful stats because the game was over when he got them. Tonight he's getting them in the flow of the game. We see the foul trouble. Spencer, Chambers, Humphries all with 4. Thorpe and Curitan with 5 each. Technical foul on Otis Thorpe as we went to break there. Rudy Tomjanovich very upset, feeling that Otis Thorpe really didn't say anything. Bennett Salvatore felt differently. So Hornacek at the line now shooting a technical free throw. If he makes it, we have a 1-point game.
He does, we do. 9:38 remaining. I enjoyed the sight of Vernon Mad Max Maxwell restraining Rudy Tomjanovich.
That had to be a comforting thought if you were the coach, didn't it?
We like to kid Vernon. He's a pretty good guy. He can really go off with his hair trigger, though. It's got him in a lot of trouble. Hair trigger temper. 1 point Rockets lead has just gone away. Hornacek comes up limping, but the Jazz have regained the lead. Ellie gets a 2. He stepped on the line. Hugh Evans was right there.
That's the worst shot in basketball. Toe on the line. Right now, Mario Ellie says, I'll take whatever shot it is. I'm 1 for 5 on the night, so just give me something.
Jazz down a point. This has turned into a Whalen ball game.
See Elijah one now on Malone.
It will be Utah ball with 8 on the shot clock, just under 9 minutes to go in the game.
Now, will this have an effect on Hakeem's offense down at the other end? If he has to work and bump and grind against Karl Malone and now play offense at the other end, we'll have to watch down the last 9 minutes if this takes its toll.
Tyrone Corbin rolls it in from the corner, and Corbin has 5 points. Jazz by 1.
See, Corbin's going to help out. He's going to come off Ellie. They're going to make Ellie make some shots.
Well, one way he can make them is on the drive.
You don't want to close out on a guy who's not shooting the ball well and let him take the ball to the basket. Make him make jump shots.
Something Phoenix did.
Exactly. Corbin got overexcited there. Ellie had just made a shot, so he reacts. He wants to get out there. You've got to, when you close out on three-point shooters, you have to close out low. You can't be up straight.
Ellie is flawless at the line. 7 out of 7 tonight. He has 9 points in the game. There you see his numbers. Humphries has 4 personal fouls. Rockets by 1. We expected this tonight. After the Houston blowout, they were up by as many as 20 at the half. Won by 12 finally in game 1. We thought Utah would come back strong. A lot of physical play happening underneath the basket. And that foul is on Sam Cassell, and now he has 4. That's the 3rd team foul against Houston. There have been 2 team fouls against the Jazz with 8:23 to go in the game.
Stockton's getting some nice rest right now because the guards are playing well off the bench, and so is Corbin.
Hakeem defending Karl Malone. Open man Jay Humphries.
Still can't get a 3.
Corbin runs down the long rebound. Out of bounds. And we've got a call that says it will belong to Houston.
1 for 7 now from the three-point line tonight for Utah. 1 for 12 in the series.
Olajuwon down low finds the open man Ellie. In and out of there for the 3. And Olajuwon took a swipe at the right hand of Malone, who came away squeezing that hand as though it's hurting a little bit. Malone earlier twisted his ankle, remember. Rockets by 1.
You can see, though, Corbin is the double teamer. Ellie's going to have to make shots.
Jay Humphries has the isolation against the rookie.
See, he doesn't like this side of the floor, though, because it's a natural lefty. This will be a very difficult shot. Even though he makes it, he likes to isolate on the other side of the floor where he can come to the middle with a strong hand.
Big move by Humphries, who has 11. Ellie wanted that one to go down.
We talked about early in the ballgame the importance of Jay Humphries and what he did in the San Antonio series. He averaged 12.5 points a game. They won 3 out of 4 games. In the Denver series, they lost the last 3 games of that series. They lost the first one tonight. So if you look at Utah, they lost the first game of the playoffs, won the next 6, and then have lost 4 of the last 5.
Ellie, 9 of 9 tonight from the line. That's what's been working for him. He hasn't been able to score from the floor but 1 time. 10 of 10 for Mario Ellie. And Houston is 24 of 26 from the free throw line. If Houston wins this game, that'll be one of the significant numbers. 14 lead changes in this game. Rockets by 1.
See, this is where he likes to isolate. He likes to come to the middle. Oh, my goodness, that's a 3. You think that the air that you just heard was Jerry Sloan, the sigh of relief. That's 2 threes tonight now for Corbin.
Both of Utah's 3s. Ellie will penetrate. Goaltending against Karl Malone. Count the basket. And Ellie now with 14 points off the bench.
They've got to rotate to him and make him shoot the ball. You can't let him drive. He goes right by Humphries, gets into the lane, and Malone with a shot block. But Ellie getting to the free throw line, 10 free throws, and both of his baskets on driving layups.
Tied with 6:40 to go. Now Maxwell is on Jay Humphries. Malone going for the steal. They're into the very expensive seats over there. That was about, 550 pounds of players into the expensive chairs. I think everybody's all right.
You were thinking in terms of weight. I was thinking in terms of dollars. This is about $80 million into it.
You can hear the rattle of the cash.
Amelia Earhart, The Final Flight, coming Sunday, June 12th.
Hard to tell. Could be any pickup. But how many compact pickups hold this much? Have a bed with 2-tier loading and a tailgate this easy to deal with. You could say it's the most intelligent pickup of its kind, except there doesn't appear to be another pickup of its kind. The Chevy S-Series, so new from the inside out. Everything else is history.
All over the world, when people are late, you're guaranteed to hear excuses.
The alarm clock broke.
Mein Goldfisch ist gestorben.
Problème des cheveux?
At UPS, however, we guarantee we'll be on time. In fact, we now guarantee on-time delivery to hundreds of cities around the world, or your money back. So while you might hear, you'll never hear it from us.
If you can't get to World Cup 94, we'd like to point out that the preliminary matches for World Cup 2010 have already begun. And luckily enough, good seats are still available. McDonald's, proud sponsor of the world's biggest soccer game, even prouder sponsor of some of the world's smallest.
Tied at 83 with 6:34 to go in this ball game. The bench play for Utah has been pretty good tonight. Both Humphries with 11 and Corbin with 8. Ellie does have 14 for Houston. As we look into this final 6.5 minutes, what are going to be the keys to who's going to come away with this victory?
Well, let's see if what Utah thinks is going to happen. They felt if the game were close, then maybe those threes wouldn't go in quite as freely as they did the other night. So they're hoping from some misses from the perimeter, some defensive rebounding, and then good execution at the end of the game.
6 minutes, 34 seconds left. Utah trying to steal one at Houston. They go back to Salt Lake City on Friday night. We'll have it for you on TNT at 9 Eastern Time. Stockton back in the game. Felton Spencer carrying 4 fouls. Stockton will pull up and take the jumper.
You could see he was stiff coming off the bench. He'd settled there for a while. He tried to make a move, and it just wasn't there.
He had to take it. Shot clock was winding down. Now Rockets with a chance to take the lead. 3 men go on Elijah Wan. They're going to force Ellie to get these points. He doesn't, but Thorpe lays it in. Remember, Otis Thorpe carrying 1 technical and 5 personal fouls with 6 minutes left in this game. Both teams have committed 3 team fouls. 10 to shoot. Stripped from Stockton off the foot of Cassell with 3 on the shot clock.
They've got to get some quick hitting play here now. So 2 out of bounds plays with the clock winding down. Let's see if we can get a score.
Stockton with 2, 1 fade away from long range. Counted, it's a 3. His first of the playoffs.
What a way to break an 0 for 13 streak in the playoffs, to throw that shot in to put your team up 1.
John Stockton. Jazz by 1, 86-85, 5:24 to go. Elijah Wan looking out on the perimeter. Rims out of there for Maxwell. Felton Spencer. John Stockton got a lot of rest, remember, and that may really affect this Utah team down the stretch. 10 to shoot. Good pass to Malone. Got Olajuwon airborne, and Akeem just picked up his third personal.
Very good execution again by Utah. They used the clock all the way down, about 22 seconds of it with 2 seconds to go. They get the foul on Malone. I think that Rudy is forced to go with Olajuwon on Malone. I look for him to switch in the last 5 minutes because Akeem is going to get tired playing both ends of the floor. I know he's superhuman, but he's expending all kind of energy right now trying to keep Karl Malone off the block.
Look at the difference in the free throws. He made 2 in game 1. That's his 10th here tonight. Karl Malone has 26 points. Houston, this is something that happened in game number 1, too. Houston has missed its last, as Malone misses that one, and Houston has balls, missed its last 4 3-pointers after being 7 for 14 late in the third quarter.
They were 8 for 12 to start the game the other night, finished up 10 for 24, so they missed or made 2 of their last 12.
Ellie into Olajuwon, and boy, they're just all over the team. Doesn't matter. Well, he has 31. We talked at the beginning of the game. If you're Utah, you say, can we stop Olajuwon from getting his average of 31 points? The answer is no.
That's why you got at 87. That's why you got to take care of the ball and limit your turnovers. Here's Malone with a little jump shot against Akeem. So this might be back and forth. Olajuwon, Malone. We're going to go through the 2 best players. Let's see who can finish it out for the last 4 minutes.
31 for Olajuwon, 28 for Malone, 33 for Olajuwon.
Remember the game 7, I forget what year it was, Dominique and Larry Bird matched shot for shot, boom, boom, and finally Dominique missed and Bird hit and they won. Let's see if it's going to be one of those nights. The last guy to miss is the team that loses.
Yeah, that was way back in 1988. They're both watching probably now as Malone and Olajuwon go to war. The foul will be on Mario Ellie. And that is the 4th team foul, and Mario Ellie make that the 5th team foul, so they'll be shooting the rest of the way.
Bob, if we get a chance here, let's watch Karl Malone. He is falling back on his free throw. As a result, he is struggling from the line. He is 10 for 16 tonight, but let's see if he falls back from the line rather than falling forward. Let's watch his body balance and then watch the results. He stayed on the line that time, all right? He made the free throw. Let's see if he stays with it. He has a tendency on the second one to back away from the line instead of staying on the line.
Is that generally an indication of fatigue?
No, what it does is you get yourself into a habit. He did this early in his career, but he's got to stay on the line and not fall backwards.
You tell him. He stayed with it, knocked them both down.
That's what you got to do. You can't be moving backwards.
30 for Malone, 33 for Olajuwon. A shootout in Houston. Jazz by 2. The foul is called on John Stockton. His second.
4th team foul, so not yet in the penalty. Rest of the way now, both teams will shoot 2 free throws.
Free throws have been significant in this game. Vernon Maxwell gets it down to Olajuwon.
Boy, Akeem was very lucky there, Bob. He spun, he got hung in the air. He had no place to go and was bailed out with the foul. Otherwise, the steal by Stockton. Watch this now. He gets hung in the air, and Stockton got the steal, but they called Corbin on the slap on the reach in.
That's 4 on Corbin.
See now, it's been a score by Malone on a jump shot. Come back Akeem with a jump shot. Malone makes 2 free throws. Now here's Olajuwon, and he makes 2 free throws, which is matching each other on each end.
Olajuwon 11 out of 11 at the line. Houston 26 for 28. Tied at 91. Crowd on their feet. Seven to shoot. Hornacek.
Malone. Why not? Let's see if they come back to Akeem. Now Akeem came over to try to block that shot. He forced Hornacek to throw up a rainmaker. Let's see if Olajuwon's going to have enough energy to finish this game.
Well, he's still got energy there. That's 35 points. The Dream. Tied at 93. Crowd on the feet again. Ellie with the rebound. Rockets with a chance to take the lead. Seconds on the clock.
See, closed out that time. Didn't run it, Ellie. Didn't let him get it to the basket. That's a tough shot. The foul on Thorpe, and he got away with a push there.
That would have been his 6th. Vernon Maxwell calling it down. That was the first miss after Elijah Wan had scored
2 minutes in the quarter, 2 minutes.
8 straight points. Ellie rattles it home. Rockets by 2. Gets the roll, and that'll quiet the crowd. 96-95, 8 3-pointers for Houston tonight.
Well, actually, Ellie's was a 3. He put him up 3. The score by Spencer at 2, so it's a 1-point game.
Wow. Minute 31 to go. We'll be back.
The versatile Ricoh touchscreen copier. For those impressed by its remarkable brain, consider the body. Precision engineered for heavy duty and high volume, Ricoh's obsession with reliability and performance in a whole new class of machine. And the quality we put into it, you can get out of it right now. Because Ricoh's touchscreen copiers are not only more productive, they're also more affordable. The name to know, Ricoh.
You know you need life insurance to protect the family you love. We know the way things go, it's hard to find the money to pay the premiums. You know you've got to do it, and we know we can help you. So if you need $25,000 to $1 million or more of quality life insurance protection, call today, 800-421-2000 for this free information package. Garden State Life may be able to save you as much as 50% off what you're paying for term life insurance protection. Call 800-421-2000, toll free.
Make your money work harder than ever. Call now for your free Wall Street Journal Guide to Understanding Money and Investing. It focuses on financial markets so you can make informed choices. Call now to get your guide free when you subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, where you'll find information you need to get ahead. Get 10 weeks of the journal for just $36 and the guide to Understanding Money and Investing free with your paid subscription. Call toll-free 800-421-2000. That's 800-421-2000.
The Rockets lead it by 1. This is a beauty. Minute 31 to go in the game, and it has been a battle of the 2 superstars. Karl Malone, 32 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Elijah Wan, 37 points, 13 boards, 6 assists.
Karl Malone started out missing his first 4 field goals, so he's 10 out of his last 14. He's really heated up.
Yeah, Malone didn't score 1 single point in the first period. That's what's the situation with timeouts and fouls to give both teams in the penalty. Elijah Wan will go to the free throw line. He has 37 points at this point.
You could see in that possession, Utah did not go double team Hakeem. They let Felton Spencer play him straight up.
And that's 5 on Spencer. Elijah Wan has made them all 12 free throws.
Now, a 3-point margin for Houston is very, very important because we go back to Utah not being a good 3-point shooting team. So 3 points means almost 2 possessions for them.
Minute 13 to go in this game. Rockets by 3. Hornacek.
just drilled Maxwell.
Stockton on the runner.
Boy, Malone just drilled Vernon Maxwell with the screen. Maxwell's got to be very careful. You don't want to get a tackle right now. Somebody threw ice on the floor.
Rockets by 1. Under a minute to go on the right bottom of your screen. The time remaining in this game. The Rockets up by 1.
See if they come with Corbin this time. Make Yelly hit a shot.
Oh! The blast! That's 41 points for the Dream. Malone. Corbin for 3. Missed everything. 26 seconds to go in this game. Rockets by 3. This place is alive.
They did not need the three-point shot. There was plenty of time. They had a 2-for-1 possession ahead of them. They take a quick 3. Now they foul. Watch Elijah Wan. Unbelievable. Off the glass. It's his night. See what happens when you take a shot like that, Bob, that you don't need at that point in time. Now you have to foul. You make them both, it becomes a 5-point game. Not good clock management by Utah in that last possession.
Vernon Maxwell, 13 points, 4 of 5 from the line. And I will say this, we've criticized the young man for his volatility. He has played under control and with great poise tonight.
And he's also done a terrific job on Jeff Hornacek, who's 3 for 8 and only has 10 points. So Maxwell with 14, holding Hornacek, their second biggest leading scorer, to only 10 tonight.
And Houston is 30 of 32 from the free throw line.
And remember, you're playing for Bud Light, ladies. The boys are back in town.
These guys are good.
Who are you calling guys?
Yeah.
Looks like you're in the finals. Ma'am, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You're the defending ladies pool champion?
Yes, I am.
When it comes to roping a steer, folks in Grand Junction, Colorado will tell you that Ron Markin can ride with the best of them. And when it comes to overhauling an engine or rebuilding a carburetor, well, he can do it all. You see, when Ron's not riding a horse for fun, he's turning a wrench for a living. So he buys a lot of parts, mostly from AutoZone. Sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Ron knows that when you want the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
You read a lot these days about what Americans are into in the 90s. For most of us, it's as simple as getting the stuff you want, the things you need, at a price you can afford. Social scientists call this the price-value relationship. But to us, it's much simpler than that. We call it genuine Chevrolet.
26 seconds left in this game. The Rockets lead it by 5. They had the celebration going early here, but let's point this out, Doug. 26 seconds to go in the ball game. If Utah can knock down a 3, they have a 2-for-1 possession opportunity here if they can shoot it quickly.
Or get something going to the basket, maybe get a three-point play. At worst, you stop the clock, make 2 free throws. Bob, if you take the 3 now and miss it, the game is over. So it's 26 seconds, and with a timeout and a 20, you can still do some clock management here at the end. A missed wild 3, and the game is over.
Hornacek. Kenny Smith right in his face. Malone will take the 3. Look at the poise. And out of there.
Yeah, Hornacek pushed Kenny Smith in the back.
18.2 to go.
See, when Utah traded for Jeff Hornacek, the one thing they were getting was a legitimate three-point shooting threat. And Houston has done a wonderful job of taking him away from that three-point line, a lot like they did Dan Marley late in the series. Without Hornacek shooting the 3, they really don't have another weapon like that, and it's proved deadly for them in the first 2 games.
Well, that'll wrap it up. 103-97 Rockets about to take a 2-0 lead. Utah came back and played an excellent game here and had a chance right down into the final minute of play. Kenny Smith much prior tonight. He's 3 for 3 from the line. His 1 3-pointer had 6 in game number 1, but he doesn't care because his Rockets lead it by 7.
How about LA 17 points off the bench?
10 seconds. Maxwell.
Hold it out. You don't need any more points. Make them foul you. Use the clock.
4 seconds. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. No point here. The Rockets. 104-99. Olajuwon. 14 in the fourth quarter. 12 in the last 4 minutes. 41 in the game. And our player of the game is the MVP in the NBA, just announced today, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Budweiser will donate $1,000 on his behalf to the United Negro College Fund. Hakeem has joined us tableside here. Hakeem, first of all, congratulations on the MVP. I spent some time talking with you yesterday, and you talked about a team game. But tonight, in crunch time, you had 12 points in the last 4 minutes. You had 14 in the fourth quarter, and there's no question you stepped up big. Did the MVP and the feeling about that affect your play tonight?
Well, of course, that motivated me. But what was important, I was just reading the situation. When they double team, try to find the open man, or if they give me one-on-one coverage, I can take my man.
Yes, you could take
Hakeem,
your man.
You're breathing hard here. You're not supposed to be tired. You've only had 41 points tonight, but were you concerned coming down late, the fact that you were working so hard against Karl Malone, that you were going to have enough energy to finish the game?
Yeah, that's why we called timeout towards the end, because I was so tired, because Spencer, very physical, 300 pounds, all night banging. It's not easy.
Hakeem, can you talk a little bit about right now as you get ready to go to Utah? They did not turn the ball over against you guys tonight, but the three-point shooting for you guys has been sensational in the playoffs. You're not supposed to shoot with that high percentage in the playoffs.
Well, I think the energy and at home, the guys now we're playing with so much confidence. But now we put the pressure on Utah. They have to win at home. But the next game is so important in Utah.
Well, I just want to personally be able to say congratulations to you. Wonderful performance, but more important, a wonderful year, and you deserve the MVP.
Well, thank you very much, and I would like to thank all my fans. Thank you very much.
Your brothers were here tonight, too. 2 of them, anyway, weren't they?
Yes, yes.
Which ones were here?
Both of them, Tajuddin and Hafiz.
Oh, that's great. Well, I know they felt very good for you tonight.
Well,
and, you know, Isaiah Thomas is in our studios with Ernie Johnson, and he said you were strongest in the first part of the season, strongest in the middle, and are now playing strongest in the playoffs.
And no, Isaiah, he's not going to be on the expansion list next year either, so forget about it.
Well, tell him good luck.
Toronto?
Maybe Vancouver.
Vancouver. He likes Vancouver.
Thank you very much.
This is Hakeem the Dream. 41 points tonight. The Rockets get the win. 104-99. Let's go to Ernie and Isaiah.